Titans, Patriots, and Mac Jones rushing forward and sliding down, and it points like it's a first down. Watch him get up there. Thinks it's a first down. It was a few yards.
I see you, man. That's swag.
Now, he may have been looking for the official to make a call on a unnecessary roughness play, but he's still a solid 3 yards short. He's not even close. What are you doing there? That's not a first down. I see you. Come on, man. Vikings 49ers. This fourth quarter, 4th and goal. Chaos behind the line. We need a field general. Who's going to run and tell everybody where to go? It's going to be Kirk Cousins because he knows everything about where to be. You go over here. You go over there. And I'm going to line up under the guard, and I'm not going to realize it. I'm going to stay there for a little while. In fact, I don't know that I'm that high. Dalvin Cook, please come help me. Please come over. Tell me something that I don't know. Oh, I'm behind the guard. Time out, everybody. Field general. Come on, man.
You never have any moments like that.
I would say put it up right now for you, Steve.
Oh, bro, I've never met a guard. I'm sorry. I can't say that again.
And he almost made it worse. When they asked him how it happened, he simply said, I got under the wrong guy. Which created a double firestorm around America with those comments. I realize we're Disney, so I'm not going to go any further. That's what he said.
What did he say, Randy Paul?
Rand Paul. Yes, Randy, what are you picking tonight?
Hey, I'm not doing no push-ups. I'm going to stay with the Washington football team, man. I took a chance. I got to see it watch. I'm going to screw it up.
That's it?
I'm not saying anything else.
Despite the fact that it's Russell's birthday.
It's his birthday. It's their last stand.
Listen, I don't care if it's a birthday or they want to win 7 in a row. They got to win one first, and I'm not picking them tonight.
Wow.
So you don't think they can go 7 in a row?
You think they can go 7 in a row?
Stranger things have happened.
That's a movie.
Are you ready for some football? Then, now, forever together, WWE as well. NFL Monday Night Football, WWE Monday Night Raw, live watch, longer actions, live right here on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Coin Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button, share hashtag NFL, hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE Raw. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. As well, before we get into Seattle and Washington on Monday Night Football from the U.S. Capitol, along with WWE Monday Night Raw from NYC, we have breaking news in college football. The coaching carousel has heated up, to say the least, the past 24, 48 hours. Arguably, right now, one of the best in recent memory, in my opinion. Yesterday, Florida hired Billy Napier to replace Den Mullen. We also had the breaking news live during the NFL 1 o'clock window with USC hiring Oklahoma head coach in Lincoln Riley. And now within just the past 2-3 minutes, Brian Kelly will leave Notre Dame after 12 seasons as he's heading to the Bayou. LSU will hire Notre Dame head man in Brian Kelly to take over for Ed Orgeron and go Tigers. But we'll get more into college football, the NFL, and professional wrestling throughout the evening, so stay tuned. But, of course, wanted to get that in here now as it is in fact breaking news, but we're going to be underway with football and wrestling here this Monday night, along with some college basketball as well. The Big Ten ACC Challenge. We'll have Iowa and Virginia, and Brian Kelly's former school in Notre Dame in Illinois coming up in a few short hours. But should have been an exciting night of football and pro wrestling, to say the least. I mean, WWE and NYC at the new Long Island Arena as they have a stat card. Who knows, we might see a return or two tonight as well. But we got Seattle and Washington on Monday night from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Seattle's 3-7, Washington's 4-6. Go Hawks, they haven't won since Halloween. Hell, Russell Wilson hasn't won a game that he has started in nearly 2 months. And then the Redskins, as they're formerly known as, now the Wash football team, or whatever the hell their nickname will be next year, they're on a 2-game winning streak, haven't lost since Halloween. So something's got to give tonight. I'm sure as always something will, but I believe tonight on Monday Night Football, and once again, thanks for tuning in and listening, whoever has a better running game will win tonight. Both head coaches, of course, and Pete Keller and Ron Rivera, they're going to try to establish a running game early and often. We'll see if they can also run it when they need to late in the game here tonight. But on top of that, also what defense bends doesn't break. Down the wire. One big play could win this game for whoever does, in fact, come out on top. As both teams, even at 3-7 and 4-6 in the NFC, they're still in the playoff hunt here at the end of November with a month and a half of regular season football left to be played. So a must-win to stay alive. Russell Wilson going to try to win on his birthday here tonight. It seems like when these two teams meet in D.C., it's always in prime time. I remember, I believe it was 2014-15, somewhere around there. They met early middle of the season on a Monday night from FedEx Field, and of course, go Hawks. Seattle came out on top with the victory. They've met in the playoffs a few times as well, from what I can recall. But now here, towards the tail end of 2021, Seattle sitting at 3-7, Washington at 4-6. Must wins, of course. You know, Seattle, they're 1-5 in their last 6. Haven't won in nearly a month, and Wilson hasn't won a game he started in nearly 2 months, back to early October. They haven't won since Halloween. Washington, they haven't lost since Halloween. They're on a 2-game winning streak, defeating the Buccaneers and Panthers, taking down 2 former NFL MVPs in the process of doing so as well, in Tom Brady and Cam Newton. So we'll see how tonight's game does in fact go, but it's going to be Russell Wilson, of course, and number 4, Taylor Heineke, the Monarch from the 757 just up the road, hosting Seattle here tonight on Monday Night Football. As he's had an interesting NFL career, to say the least. I mean, I feel everybody with Taylor Heineke finally found out who the hell he was this past year in the playoffs. Of course, when Washington hosted Tampa Bay and nearly beat them, and then they just did beat them 2 weeks ago here in the regular season. But just think, if they would have beat them last year in the playoffs, you know, of course, Tampa Bay wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. But that's why they play games. Outside on paper, it's on the field, so we'll see what it gives tonight. But Seattle's going to need a big game out of Russell Wilson, no doubt about it. I'm sure they'll throw a lot of deep balls to Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. They got a fun running game, though. Both teams do. With Alex Collins and Antonio Gibson. Work by committee, though, too, to be honest with you. I mean, everybody does, and for the most part, these two teams are included in that matter. So we'll have kickoff coming up momentarily here on ESPN. No Manning cast tonight on ESPN2, as there is, in fact, college basketball on with the Big Ten ACC Challenge, as mentioned. Yeah, Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw. They kick it off, of course, with the opening video package, as always. Then now, Forever Together WWE. They're in Long Island for the Red Brand, hashtag WWE Raw here tonight, following Survivor Series last weekend. Now on the road to WWE Day 1. They actually just showed a graphic for the WWE Day 1 pay-per-view on January the 1st for the WWE Championship matchup that they'll have that night, as Big E will defend his WWE title against the Messiah, Mr. Monday Night Rollins himself, Mr. Nickname as I like to call him, Seth frickin' Rollins. Hopefully he won't get attacked tonight by any means, but in the meantime, he is getting attacked by Finn Balor as they open the show with Rollins cutting promo, and then Balor comes out. They've had advertised this match tonight on Raw, so it'll be Finn Balor and Seth Rollins in singles action. It looks like it's going to kick off the show. But they just show the graphic for Big E and Seth Rollins for the WWE title at day one, which really isn't that big of a surprise. And then on the SmackDown side of things, of course, Roman Reigns as your Universal Champion. Sami Zayn's his new number one contender. But Brock Lesnar is going to be returning as his suspension has been lifted. And it'll be Reigns and Lesnar at that event as well, it looks like. And then, of course, Royal Rumble about a month or so later. But to be honest with you, because we also have a singles match tonight with Big E and Kevin Owens, I want to be shocked, so don't be surprised if the WWE runs a fatal four-way WWE Championship match with these two stories mixing together at the WWE Day 1 pay-per-view event. A fatal four-way WWE Championship matchup with Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Finn Balor. Big E Owens tonight, Balor and Rollins kicking off Raw now as well. They also have advertised a Raw Women's Championship contract signing with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. A few other championship matches tonight as well. RK Bro, of course, Randy Orton and Matt Riddle will defend their Raw Tag Team Championships against the Dirty Dogs and Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Damian Priest turning heel at Survivor Series. It seems like he'll defend his United States Championship against Apollo Crews. And then the Rated R Superstar Edge also returns tonight for the first time in about a month. They could get him involved in that WWE Championship picture as well. Of course, coming off of a feud with Seth Rollins since they returned to the road over the summer. But, as mentioned, WWE has a stat card here tonight for Raw. Arguably could be one of the better Raws in quite some time on paper. We'll see how it progresses throughout the night. But Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw, kickoff coming up momentarily, as mentioned. So we'll get underway here with Seattle and Washington on ESPN. But once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Coin Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button. Share, chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always get appreciated as well. So, breaking news to start off the night. LSU expected to hire Brian Kelly as their next head football coach. LSU will hire Notre Dame head man Brian Kelly. So this will be his fourth stop as a big D1 college football head coach. Of course, he was at Central Michigan and then Cincinnati, Notre Dame, past almost a decade and a half, and now he's going to the SEC. Take over LSU. And Notre Dame's right now in the mix for the college football playoff. We'll see if they get in or not, depending on the outcomes of these upcoming weekend's games. And we'll preview college football coming up a little bit later on as well, with NFL week 13 for next week as well, following week 12 wrapping up tonight. It began on Thanksgiving Thursday this past week with 3 games. Good slate yesterday. Monday Night Football now tonight. So we'll see how the next few hours or so go. But WWE Monday Night Raw underway here first. About a 15-20 minute differential between the top of the hour and then, of course, kickoff for Monday Night Football. And, I mean, on paper, okay, Seattle and Washington right now, both teams not really playing that great, but must win for both. If Seattle loses, I'd feel safe saying their season's done for. Because at 3-7, and Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, a few other players have stated, okay, we're going to win out 10-7, make the playoffs. Well, the playoff picture in the AFC and NFC as well, which both these teams are in, it's tight as all hell right now, and it's only going to get a little tighter over the next few weeks or so. We'll see how the games play out. There's a few teams, once again, that are at the top, 7, 8, 9 wins. There's a few teams now as well after yesterday's games that are starting to pull away, it seems like. But everybody's still, middle of the pack, Seattle 3 wins, Washington 4 wins, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins as well. So still a whole hell of a lot of football to be played. So we'll see what gives. So I'm sure something will, but should be a good game. I mean, if I'd have to predict the score, which I never really do anymore, low-scoring defensive showdown, 2016, 23-20, somewhere in there. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less, but Seattle did open as a road favorite. They're now a road dog, as Washington's favored by 1. So Washington up front, going to have to block to protect Taylor Heineke, because we know Seattle's defense, but really the Seattle team at 3-7, one of their worst years in forever. They're not what they used to be. But if they can get a spark tonight, get the momentum build up over the next few weeks, maybe they make a run. I don't know, but they're going to have to win out basically to make the playoffs, and they've stated that. So, as mentioned, if Seattle loses, their season's probably done for. But then if Washington wins, and then top-heavy NFC East games from now to the end of the regular season as well, sitting at 5-6, they'll be in second place in the division right behind the Cowboys. Because of the giant winner of the Eagles yesterday, and then the Cowboys lost on Thanksgiving against the Raiders as well. So cue the Monday Night Football theme, the new Washington football team logo midfield, and the Seahawks are on to kick off. 40-degree night from the nation's capital, as Seattle's looking to storm into D.C. and pick up a win on Monday Night Football. And in the meantime, we're underway. Return from the 10-yard line. Out past the 20 to the 22 goes Washington, 1st and 10 from there to begin the game. 4 seconds in. 1st and 10 Skins, or now, of course, known as the Washington football team, at home here on Monday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. So run the football. Run Antonio Gibson. Run J.D. McKissick. Open up the screen game with the backs as well. Take your deep shots every once in a while, but, run to pass to run. All sorts up front. Give it a block to run. Play good defense, run your special teams. We'll see what happens here. Motion man near side, and they'll fake the give. Heineke over the middle, intended for the former Virginia Tech quarterback, and number 82, the tight end, Logan Thomas, Vaught Tech. Now, all eyes will focus on them down the road in Blacksburg for who they're going to hire as their next head coach, because this college football coaching carousel has really come together real quick this year compared to usual. Normally there's a few days in between the end of the regular season when schools are firing and they're making changes. I mean, some of these jobs have been open for a little while now, but as mentioned yesterday, these universities seems like wanting to put it together as quick as they possibly can and hit the ground running with recruiting then for the coaches. Of course, early signing day into the bowl season into next year then as well. But, the 3 big jobs were USC, LSU, and Florida. They've all now since been filled. Lincoln Riley to USC came out of left field. I feel Brian Kelly to LSU just came out of left field as well. We'll see if all the hires are going to work out. Of course, there's going to be a few that don't, anymore. It's a couple years. If you don't win, you're gone. But quick 3-and-out for the Skins. Heineke over the middle. Out past midfield, incomplete, intended for Terry McLaurin. Has Ryan Day at Ohio State. Who the hell knows? There's rumors floating around. Of course, the Buckeyes lost to Michigan on Saturday in the game. Maybe he'll move on to the NFL. If he leaves, that's the only destination. He's not going anywhere else in college football. But then that would open up Ohio State, and then Luke Fickell, I would think, would leave Cincinnati, even though I've said, and I still feel he's content at staying at Cincy because they're going to be making the college football playoff. They win the American Athletic Conference Championship game on Saturday. But a punt return now from the 25. They blow it dead. It'll be 1st and 10 for Seattle after a quick 3-and-out by Washington here. Rollins walking back up the ramp. No fan attack tonight, unlike last week. But looks like he picks up the win against Finn Balor. Now we'll go backstage. It's actually last week with a promo battle back and forth with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. They'll have a contract signing later on tonight, they said, for that Raw Women's Championship. But now 1st and 10 for Seattle. A couple minutes into Monday Night Football here tonight. On offense for the first time. As Wilson's going to be under center. 1st and 10 from 24. Fake the give to Alex Collins, pump fake, and then a dump off to Lockett for a yard. And it'll be 2nd down and 9. Of course, Steve Levy, Louis Riddick, and Brian Greasy on the call. Louis Salters down on the field. No Manning cast is mentioned, but now here comes Becky Lynch, the man herself, now big-time Bex, Raw Women's Champion. She is currently a heel, but the WWE Universe not accepting, so we'll see what they do with her, but I'd keep her heel. Just eventually it'll get through and you'll get your point across, but it looks like contract signing coming up next. I'm really digging these new WWE graphics for Raw and SmackDown. They did change them up for the better this last go-around. Out of the pistol, Wilson going to hand off to Alex Collins, former Hog. Arkansas going to await a bowl bid now, but now Seattle with a 3rd and 9 here, as both teams are a play away here from going 3-and-out to begin the game. So we might have a early punt contest on our hands before they settle in and settle the hell down, and then get moving into the second quarter and the second half, and whatever the hell happens in that time. Wilson overthrown. I have no idea who the hell he was thrown to there, but incomplete. 4th down. It was intended for 81, the former Ram and Gerald Everett, but pass was to the moon, and yeah, just no way Everett could have even had a chance to make a play on that to come down with the catch. So 2 3-and-outs for Washington, Seattle. Seahawks on the punt. Washington now on the return from the 25. They'll signal fair catch. Bobbled, almost muffed the 26, but 1st and 10 Washington. When we return, we'll have a double commercial break now. Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw. But WWE NXT TakeOver War Games will be this Sunday. However, I have not watched NXT now. Well, it'll come Sunday as 3 months' time. Still have no plan on watching it anytime soon, but so no live watch long reactions then. But for anybody interested, yeah, I'm surprised we haven't had a commercial for that or even SmackDown for this week. But TakeOver War Games on Sunday for the former Black and Gold brand, now Bob Ross-esque wrestling. But once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. NFL Monday Night Football and WWE Monday Night Raw live watch along reactions, audio only, and it's a black screen live right here on YouTube. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. However, next week I will have more live watch along reactions live right here on the YouTube channel in college football and the National Football League. On Saturday, we're going to do a doubleheader with the SEC and Big Ten Conference Championship games And then next Sunday, we'll have Ravens Steelers. And a week from now, NFL Monday Night Football and WWE Monday Night Raw once again, with the Bills hosting the New England Patriots for the leadership in the AFC East as the season will progress. However, they'll still have to meet once more by the end of the year, as everybody's going to be playing each other for the most part, division-wise in the NFL. So it'll work itself out, and we'll get the 14 playoff teams that we end up with on the road to the Super Bowl. But here tonight, we'll get back to it. Washington football, 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line after a 3-and-out by both Washington and Seattle to begin the game tonight, and then the contract signing to return to WWE Monday Night Raw as well. Along with, as I mentioned, a few championship matches, a few damn good single matches as well. And then I'm sure they'll, add in a few segments, whether those are matches or in-ring or backstage interviews or promos. I mean, a good 40-45 minutes of the show for a 3-hour wrestling product in 2021 is any more commercials. And not like SmackDown. I mean, SmackDown really hasn't been around split-screen commercials as of late. Now we're back to Vince McMahon. Vince, in his office, where's the $100 million egg at? Vince with Austin Theory. Gonna take another selfie. Theory stole the egg last week, and then Sami Zayn ratted him out, and then Vince said something along the lines of nobody likes where we're at. But Zayn then won Battle Royal and became Reigns' #1 contender on SmackDown Friday night on Black Friday. But then Lesnar's going to be coming back, so it'll be at WWE Day 1 as it's Big E, Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship now. But like I said, keep an eye out with the other feuds of, the matches tonight, but then the feuds with Owens and Rollins, Edge returning as well, Owens and Balor. It all ties in one way or another. So don't be shocked if that's a fatal 4-way, but right now it's going to be Big E and Rollins. Even though Big E and Owens are tonight, Rollins just beat Balor. So yeah, singles match at Day 1, but maybe a fatal 4-way, but then it'll be Reigns and Lesnar. Maybe Zayn gets his title match before Christmas. Got a penalty. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Washington. But first team All-Pro linebackers in 5 straight seasons. Bobby Wagner in some good company with Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, LT Lawrence Taylor, and Iron Mike Singletary. So, of course, all 4 Hall of Famers. That's some damn good company for Bobby Wagner to be a part of. Making another tackle. Leading the Seahawks in career tackles. But it seems to me Vince is high on Austin Theory for some reason. I don't like him, but I guess it is what it is. 3rd and 1, Washington going to run it, and Gibson gets a first down out past the 40. In the meantime, back on Raw with the segment we just had backstage in Vince's office with Vinnie Mac himself and Austin Theory. In the ring, though, Sonya Deville, who I feel at this point is getting on everyone's nerves. She's going to be in the middle of this contract signing, it looks like, with Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. But 1st and 10, Washington from the 43, and Gibson gets to the 46 for 3 yards, 2nd down. As Gibson, a former wide receiver at Memphis, had a big game last year on Thanksgiving at Dallas, and for the most part, single-handedly, along with special teams, won the Skins, watch ball team, that game before, of course, the demise for the Cowboys the rest of the year. And a Washington win tonight would just put them right behind Dallas in the East, and then everybody still has to play each other in the division by the end of the year as well. So they'll take each other out, no doubt about it. And with the NFC East, of course, having a different winner, it seems like every single year, who the hell knows who's going to come out on top. This year, in the first ever 18-week, 17-game regular season for the expanded biggest season ever in NFL history, that'll go to mid-January before the playoffs begin for a month before Super Bowl 56. Heineke on a pass, first down, and out past midfield now into Seattle Seahawks territory. 1st and 10, under 10 to play here in this opening quarter. McKissick going to be in motion. They'll hand off to Gibson. Good blocking up front. So where it all starts at. He gets to the 31 for about 8.5, maybe 9, depending on the spot. Good little block to run the football. And, of course, Pete Carroll, when he was at USC, had Reggie Bush. They won a few national championships. USC now has hired Lincoln Riley. The coaching carousel, as mentioned, all eyes, I feel, now are going to be on Virginia Tech because everything else has sort of been filled for a big job, for a known, big-name program. We'll see who Vautech hires, but Frank Beamer was there for how long, and then they go through Justin Fuente, and they part ways after this year. And the college football coaching carousel, to say the least, compared to the NFL, that'll heat up after the regular season gets over with. 1st and 10, Washington here. It seems to me once every 5-6 years now, there's always, because everybody's saying, they can't remember pass complete Terry McLaurin the last time, a big-name college football coach left one big program to go to another, and not the NFL. Hence, Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma to USC. Go back to Jimbo Fisher when he left Florida State to go to Texas A&M, and then even a few years prior to that when Brett Bielema left Wisconsin after he led them to 3 straight Big Ten championships and 3 straight Rose Bowls to Arkansas. Now he's, of course, back in the Big Ten in Illinois, but now you have LSU hiring Brian Kelly. You have 2 of those in 1 year, let alone back-to-back days in the hiring process. So we'll see if it pans out over, the next however many years. And, I'm sure there's a ton of money involved. As hell, last week we saw 10-year extensions for a few college coaches, whether they, should have got them or not. Who knows? But the programs get their guys, and for the time being, the rest is history. But now you got to hit the ground running and move into the future. But meantime, the Redskins, Washington football team, move a little further on downfield. 2nd down at the 11 now after a pickup of 6. As the Skins are knocking on the door, looking to punch it in and take an early lead. You got to respect her about Ron Rivera. Was in Carolina for nearly a decade, and then goes to Washington, defeats cancer last year as well. They make the playoffs, and sitting at 4-6 now, but they're still in the thick of it, as are the Seahawks. But with Arizona and San Fran, along with the Rams, who everybody's now forgetting about because they've lost a few in a row in front of them, it's going to be a wild finish, to say the least. So a lot going on, trying to tie everything in and up with one another, but we'll get through the night. 1st and goal. We'll just have to see how this game and this show goes. Liv Morgan ripping Becky Lynch a new one, it looks like. And Sonya Deville going to have to break it up, but We got first and goal, now second and goal after no gain on that play. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Under 5 to play in this opening quarter. So Washington taking up some time now on this drive. Both teams went 3 and out. If you're just not tuning in on their opening drives, 2 punts. Washington, second goal inside the red zone now. 3-7 Seattle, 4-6 Washington. Give it to Gibson. Give it the 2-4. Run a screen if you're not going to hand it off to him. They do hand off. He's got a block. He's going to be brought down there right away. No gain. Nice tackle right there once again at the line of scrimmage. And he's a little slow to get up, but he does get up. What do we got on Raw? We got a 10-woman tag team match now with Team Liv Morgan and Team Becky Lynch, and we'll see the competitors when the match takes place. So they add that in on top of everything they've already announced. So jam-packed Raw tonight, to say the least. But should be a good one. On paper, at least it is. We'll see if it comes to fruition or not. As bad as the show's been as of late, I mean, it's a hit or miss anymore, to be honest with you. They're going to run an empty set 5 wide, third and goal from the 5. And it's going to be caught, but still, once again, no gain on the play. It was complete from Heineke to J.D. McKissick. And now the Skins, the Washington football team, are going to have to settle for 3. So here comes the Philly unit for a chip shot. This will officially be about a 23-yard field goal. Take the points, you kick it, you know. I mean, if it's for the goal from the 1 or half-yard line, maybe think about going for it. And then if you don't get it, well, they got to drive the length of the field if they want to score on you. 23-yard field goal attempt officially, kicks up and good. And Washington leads it 3-0 over the visiting Seattle Seahawks here tonight now on Monday Night Football with just under 3 minutes to play, 2:59 officially here in the opening quarter. So once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. Now on Monday Night Raw, we have a flashback to last week with RK Bro. Riddle dressed up as Randy Orton, which is pretty funny. Now we head backstage in Gorilla with them live tonight, #WWE Raw. They'll defend their Raw Tag Team Championships against Rude and Ziggler coming up momentarily, it looks like. And then in the Big Ten ACC Challenge, Iowa on the road has a 3-point lead at Virginia. And then we'll have Notre Dame, Illinois later on. And then they just run the commercial for the Big Ten ACC Challenge tomorrow night. It'll be Ohio State and Duke and Michigan, North Carolina. So, following Thanksgiving, hopefully everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. Now, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year in a month or so. Hopefully tune in before then once again. But if you don't, just be sure to subscribe. But just time of year. It's just perfect. It's awesome. Weather's not too hot, not too cold. Some snow. But sport-wise, there's everything on you could imagine. It's football season still. Of course, baseball just finished up, but and a big day for baseball today for signings for free agency. Players getting paid, to say the least. Coaches getting paid as well, leaving from one place to the other. But this is how it is anymore. What the hell's Riddle doing? He puts a wig on Randy Orton. Orton now with long hair, long blonde hair, dirty blonde hair like Matt Riddle. Riddle rips it off. Jesus Christ, this is one of the funniest things they've done on the main roster in a little while. I mean, I know that I've said that for a few occasions as of late, but just the chemistry with Orton and Riddle, it's amazing. It's just perfect. It's absolutely hilarious. They're gonna hear voices in their head walking to the ring as Riddle rides a scooter, but they'll be defending their Raw Tag Team Championships coming up next against Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
But here in 2021, look out, Russ. It's been rough as the Seahawks facing the possibility of their first losing season as Russ as chef. Look to the left there, you see Sierra's Grammy. This is good.
First and 10, Seattle. After the touchback, it'll be first and 10 from the 25. They have not won since Russell Wilson has returned. They went to Green Bay 2 weeks ago and got shut out, and then also lost last week. So, hand off to Collins, I do believe, for a few yards. It'll be second down and 8. Yeah.
And then last week against a form of the Arizona Cardinals, they lost 23-13 at home in Seattle.
Second and 8 from the 27. Wilson going to be under center. Going audible. They got plenty of time on the play clock there to get this right. 2-2-2 to play in this opening quarter. 3-0 Skins. Another handoff to Collins. So, as mentioned, both teams here early trying to establish this running game. And rightfully so. You got to be able to run to pass to run. Open with play action. Play good defense for other special teams. Of course, turnovers and penalties kill you. We'll see, in that category or categories, how they'll fare. I mean, we've had, one, maybe 2 penalties, but nothing major. But still a good game. Hopefully it will be here in the next couple hours. But now 3rd and 1, Washington try to force a 3 and out. However, Wilson finds Lockett wide open down the far sideline, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds to the 10-yard line. Biggest play of the game thus far by either team, and Wilson's got Seattle 1st and goal now inside the red zone. What a play. He almost sacked, got drilled as he got rid of it. Washington brought a good amount on the pressure. But good blocking up front. They still almost got to him. And then Russ delivers a deep ball. And then that pass on a raw near side, a little high, incomplete. Lockett takes a shot in the end zone. But pass incomplete now. Second down and... Okay, 2nd and 10 officially. So 8, now 7 shots to punch it in for 6 to take a early road lead on Monday Night Football here at the end of the first quarter. So they must have marked him out in between the 10 and 15. Yeah, at the 11. 2nd and 10 now. But yeah, the big pass. Just some busty coverage by Washington. I don't know how the hell Tyler Lockett got that wide open, but he did. And then an incomplete. Collins on to give up the middle. It'll be 3rd down. So 3rd down and 5 from the 6. And Wilson going to drop back over the middle. It's caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Gerald Everett, 81, the former Ram tight end, does a leap and then is pushed away by the fans. Seattle takes a 6-3 lead, 20 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Yeah, Wilson with a nice pass, right on the money. And Everett able to make the grab, and Seattle the touchdown. That's what the Seahawks need to be doing, for the most part, every single drive they have the football. And just continue to make stops on defense. Extra points up and good, 7-3 Seahawks with 20 seconds to play in this opening quarter. So, Both teams with 3 and outs to begin the game. Second drives, they both drive and score a total of 10 points. Washington with a field goal, Seattle there with a touchdown. So 7-3. Seahawks leading the Washington football team. Back to it on Raw. Following the break, we'll have RK Bro, Randy Orton, Matt Riddle as your Raw Tag Team Champions, about to defend against Dirty Dogs and Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. I feel RK Bros hashtag tag team titles as well when you share on WWE Raw. They'll end up retaining tonight, but eventually they're going to lose these titles because come in between Rumble and Mania on the road to WrestleMania, maybe, you know, even between day 1 of the Royal Rumble next month, even though it's still November, but really it's December, but into early next year, they're going to split. Somebody's going to turn on somebody. I just don't know who yet, whether it's going to be Orton on Riddle or Riddle on Orton. They're going to turn, they'll break them up, and then at Mania, Riddle will defeat the Viper. And then I have felt, as of late, Riddle, he's going to be a strong candidate to win Money in the Bank next year with the position they have him sitting in right now, as a future star in the making. And I'm saying this now, and I've been saying it the past few months here in 2021. So don't believe me, go listen. And then when it does happen, I'll say I told you so. But I mean, he could win the Rumble, but it just wouldn't make sense. Not right now, at least. I honestly have no idea who's going to win the Royal Rumble, but no December pay-per-view for the WWE. From now until New Year's, we build to WWE Day 1, a New Year's pay-per-view. But at least they're giving themselves some room to work with and not rushing and doing too much because, you know, less is more sometimes, and just keep it simple, you know. It's sometimes hard to watch because they're trying to do this and that, and it's like some of the shit's just so damn stupid. But out past the 30 to 32 goes Washington on kickoff return, 1st and 10 from there. They'll have one play, 14 seconds to close out this quarter, down 4, 7-3. And then that'll take us, into the second quarter. But it'll heat up here eventually. We'll have some big plays. I mean, we just had one, but unless you start fast, and both teams are like this, until you settle in and settle the hell down, it's just going to be the way it is. And it's who's going to make more big plays and make more stops when the game's on the line. So they hand off, and they'll have a second down to begin the second quarter when we return. So at the end of one, as Washington strikes first with a field goal, Seattle just responded with a touchdown. So 7-3, your end of one score here tonight on Monday Night Football. We also take a break on Monday Night Raw as well. So we'll get back to the action here momentarily, but once again, just thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media.
I just love having the check-in online and having to do it again on the mobile app, then having to do it again in person. Are there any other ways that I have to check in?
Back to football and wrestling here, but first with college football and coaching carousel again.
I've only ever put 30
you know, it's a domino effect. You know, one coach leaves for another job, that position opens up then. Who's going to go to Oklahoma? Who's going to go to Notre Dame? I had said this a couple weeks ago. I felt coming up, big name jobs being opened up, and then whoever gets hired, okay. But this arguably could be one of the biggest coaching carousels we've seen in quite some time, and it's looking that way now. You know, maybe Luke Fickell goes to Notre Dame. I wouldn't be shocked about that. I mean, his name's coming up for Oklahoma right now as well. I mean, Matt Campbell, there was talk earlier today he was going to go to Washington. They hired Kalen DeBoer from Fresno State. So everything for the most part's been filled, but now you have 5 big Power 5 jobs that have opened up. 3 have been filled, but 2 have opened up because 2 head coaches left for 2 of those 3 jobs. In Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma to USC, and then now Notre Dame losing Brian Kelly to go to LSU. So OU and Notre Dame open up. As, of course, Brian Kelly's name came up for USC. Really, okay, he leaves Notre Dame after 12 years. All-time winningest coach in program history. What more can he do? You know, they're not in a conference. They probably won't make the playoff to begin with. Even if they do, they shouldn't. But we'll see what happens if they get some help or not. But he's not going to be coaching. He'll be at LSU. We'll, of course, have to see who all these head coaches are going to hire as assistants. I know Lincoln Riley's taking a few to L.A. with them. Heineke, ball's somehow caught by Gibson. It was deflected on a strip sack and then caught. And about a yard or so in the game, 3rd down for the Skins here, early second quarter. But I said yesterday, Oklahoma needs to hire Bob Stoops. He's going to actually coach them as the interim head coach in the bowl game, sort of what Barry Alvarez did coming back from the former Badger head coach, replacing Brett Billen when he left. And then even after Gary Anderson left, just to serve as the interim in the bowl games, as he was also the athletic director at that point in time. Got a flag on a 3rd and short by Washington. We're going to have a pass interference on the Seattle defense, automatic first down. They'll keep the drive alive here early second quarter, 7-3 Seattle. Near pinfall on Monday Night Raw as well. Raw Tag Team Championship match continues with RK Bro and the Dirty Dogs. But, you know, Bob Stoops' brother and Mark Stoops at Kentucky, you know, his name's come up for OU. It'll be interesting to see who Oklahoma hires, because they're going to be going to the SEC here by 2025. There's still no set date on it, though. Notre Dame's going to be interesting now, too. I honestly have no idea. I mean, Luke Fickell, I mean, Midwest, I mean, because we've thought, okay, he'd only leave for Michigan, Notre Dame, Penn State, and Ohio State. If I'm Luke Fickell, I'm probably still going to stay at Cincinnati for the time being, unless the money's right and you think you're going to have a chance to win. He went 6-6 though as the interim at Ohio State 10 years ago, but he's built Cincinnati up after now Senator and Tommy Tuberville. I mean, they had a good few years, maybe a few too many. As he took over for Brian Kelly, actually, and Brian Kelly took over for Mark D'Antonio, who left for Michigan State. You know, that was like 15 years ago now at this point. But, yeah, Cincinnati's just been that stepping stone. You know, Marcus Freeman, he's Notre Dame defensive coordinator. You know, maybe they just promote him, but maybe he goes LSU to be the DC under Kelly. But then if Fickell would leave to go to Notre Dame, or if Ohio State would open up, if Ryan Day would go to the NFL, well, then I think Cincinnati would want to hire Marcus Freeman. So it's just a domino effect. It's chaos is all it is. It's hectic. All hell's broken loose. And it's just going to get crazier, even though it's as crazy can get right now. So we'll see what happens, but it'll be interesting to say the least. I mean, Urban Meyer's name could come up for Notre Dame because, you know, back also about 15 years so ago now, as Washington's going to have to punt from midfield. Remember, because he was at Bowling Green in Utah. Of course, now in the NFL with the Jags, and maybe a one and done. Right now, I'd have to think he'll be back next year. But they break the news now on ESPN and ESPN2 that LSU has hired Brian Kelly. He's had 5 straight 10-win seasons, which is, you know, a feat only few have accomplished. And he's going to go to LSU, a team I can't remember. I'll have to look up. Or if anybody does, in fact, know, let me know in the comments. I know Notre Dame and LSU met in a bowl game. I believe the Citrus Bowl, you know, almost 5 years or so ago now. But I don't know who won that game. If Notre Dame won, okay, well, he's going to where, you know, the team he beat. But if he lost, well, he's going to get them on. He's going to get them on track, yeah, but he, you know, not selling out by any means. But, and speaking of selling out, Seth Rollins walking backstage and Owens interrupts wearing an old school Survivor Series t-shirt. We the ones, hashtag WWE Raw. But, yeah, Brian Kelly's going to LSU. But no, Urban Meyer, okay, after Bowling Green, Utah went to Florida. But Notre Dame was also open around that same time, and he went to Florida. Of course, won 2 national championships in 3 years. Ohio State national champion winning head coach as well. Drama surrounding Urban as well in between his coaching stints of why he left and, okay, he's back in it now and etc. I think we all know the story there. But now he's in the NFL. Does Urban Meyer go to Notre Dame? I feel Urban Meyer's name is going to come up for Notre Dame, and I wouldn't be shocked if he takes the job. Because, one, he's going to have a chance to win. 2, he's going to be taking over a damn good program from Brian Kelly, who left them in a good spot. Plus, Urban's track record speaks for itself, minus the drama surrounding it. Edge coming out now on Raw. Looks like he'll cut a promo of some sort, and then somebody will interrupt him. Back to it on Monday Night Football as well. 1st and 10 to the 27 for Seattle. Iowa defeats Virginia in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. We'll have Notre Dame, Illinois coming up next. Also on ESPN2. So a few events on right now if you're just now tuning in. And thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. But, you know, okay, Notre Dame's not in a conference, but they've still made the playoff regardless if they, you know, have been in a conference or not. Last year, of course, they were in the ACC, and they play half the ACC for their schedule anyway, but they're still an independent. And Notre Dame's Notre Dame. You know, it's the brand and, you know, playoff expanding. Keep an eye out for Urban Meyer to Notre Dame, and don't be shocked if it happens. And I'm saying this now, I don't know, not even a half hour or so, hour after Brian Kelly has left for LSU. So Oklahoma and Notre Dame are the 2 big openings now. I feel Urban, that'd be tough for him to turn down. You know, because, of course, his name came up for Texas and even USC past 2 years now. And, okay, Bowling Green, Utah, won at Florida, won at Ohio State as well. He's won everywhere he's been. I mean, just going to be his first losing season in forever here in the NFL with the Jags. But the NFL is not college football. You know, it's totally different. But yeah, Urban Meyer, Notre Dame. Urban Meyer, Notre Dame, watch out. I'm telling you. Believe me. I mean, Fickle would be another name. I mean, Matt Campbell from Iowa State, Notre Dame wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, but Notre Dame could go right back to Cincinnati, just as they did for Brian Kelly, and take Luke Fickle. You know, Matt Roll would be an interesting candidate. Penn State just extended James Franklin, so he's not coming home yet. But, you know, Matt Roll in Carolina, Notre Dame, maybe. That wouldn't be a bad fit. Trying to think of a few other coaching candidates off the top of my head. We'll get more into all this, as mentioned. And I sort of lied because I've changed my mind since I said it. There's not now going to be a college football coaching carousel video. We're just going to discuss everything next Saturday during live watch-along reactions of the SEC and Big Ten championship games. So be sure to tune in. Punt. Washington going to get it back, 1st and 10, so still 7-3 here, early second quarter, 10 minutes to play before the half. But, yeah, it's been very fast-paced. Rolling on. I feel safe to say faster than usual. Because, like I said, normally it's, okay, maybe a few days, a week or so. But, yeah, we'll see who takes over and go from there. But the landscape in college football and in the NFL moving ahead once the NFL coaching carousel starts up the end of the season. Gonna look totally different for next year, with a lot of big names in places you wouldn't expect them to be. But now back on Raw as well. Postman Adam Pearce. He ripped his pants when Brock Lesnar attacked him. He probably shit his pants when he heard he wasn't suspended anymore. But Seth frickin' Rollins gonna walk up to him backstage, and they'll have a little confrontation. As Rollins earlier defeated Finn Balor to kick off the night. They announced Big E will have the defendant's WWE Championship as well against Rollins at day one. But like I say, don't be surprised if that turns into triple threat, fatal four-way, maybe even fatal five-way with Edge. But Edge out in the ring in the meantime, going to cut a promo. And now Sonya Deville walks up. Postman Pierce delivering packages to Sonya. Wink, wink. If you know, you know. Hashtag Edge returns. Edge is back on Raw. He's been on SmackDown as of late, but when he did first initially return, right before his feud with Randy Orton on the road to WrestleMania 36, almost 2 years ago, right before COVID hit, into COVID, he was on Raw. So he's Raw, SmackDown, back on Raw, and we'll see what he has to say, and then see who, of course, he's going to be in a feud with. But, yeah. He's coming off of a feud with Rollins that dated back to July once they returned to the road, and there's videos to prove that. Videos from the wrestling events I've attended live in living color right here on the channel. Be sure to go check them out. There are a few with Edge and Rollins. Right after Money in the Bank. Into Crown Jewel then as well, just recently. But they're moving on, and of course WWE's released how much talent the past year and a half as well. That list is like a mile long. But we'll see what they have in store for him next. But Edge, hashtag Edge returns in the ring on Monday Night Raw, cutting a promo. But in the meantime, Washington with a 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 for the Skins from the 16. Empty set, 5 wide. Seattle just jumped off sides. They're going to throw the flag. Awesome. Miz is going to return. Okay, Miz was on Dancing with the Stars. John Morrison has since been released. So they never really got to do anything there, even though they... And Maurice is back as well. Miz and Maurice. Miz and Mrs. They're going to get Beth Phoenix involved in this now, too. She's, of course, commentating on NXT. Miz and Mrs. As they have Miz on the back of Miz and Mrs. on the back of Maurice. Miz is back, and Raw's awesome with Edge's return. So it looks like, as they'll actually highlight Miz's Dancing with the Stars performances, he was voted off, and then they wait until after they release John Morrison. And Frank Monet as well. They could have done a whole hell of a lot there. They're probably going to do what they were going to do, to be honest with you. Because if they bring Beth Phoenix into it, well, that's probably what they would have done with Miz and Maurice, and then Morrison, Taya, Ty Valkyrie, Frank Monet. But she was in NXT anyway, and then you have Edge and Beth Phoenix if they go that route, but we'll see. But Edge, along with Miz, is back on Raw. But no John Morrison because they fired him. First and 10, that goes for 4 yards. Skins down by 4 here, 8.5 to play in the first half. 7-3 Seattle. As they ran an end around and missed tackle, but then a big hit by Jamal Adams. And brought down after about a 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6. From the 37, a screen to Curtis Samuel. He's going to get to midfield, 1st and 10. Former Panther. Played under Ron Rivera in Carolina.
They just want to see him out there healthy and dealing with that groin. Such a difficult injury for a receiver, a guy like Samuel, who's a lateral.
But this game and this Monday Night Raw, to say the least, it's been an hour, almost hour and a half or so in. Been a good night. Heineke going to step up, goes down on the sack, though. Actually, no, escapes that. I don't know how the hell he did that, but now 1st and 10 at midfield on a gain of 4. But Heineke magic, says Steve Levy. Why don't you give Seattle defense some Heineken and keep them on their feet, beat them deep down with a deep ball. I feel deep balls coming from Washington here because they're running the ball, they're running some screens, they're running a few end arounds, some trick plays there. Nothing too much. I mean, maybe a pass or two over the middle, but nothing deep on a deep ball. Seattle ran one, busted coverage, and it connected and they ended up scoring. And now Washington and now we got an injured offensive lineman, but Washington's been in a lot of 3rd downs already tonight, but they've about 50-50 here, able to convert. I mean, we've had, how many punts now as well, so just slow and steady until you win the race, and we'll see who comes out on top. But Miz is back on Raw along with Edge, and it looks like they'll be in a feud. As Edge cuts a promo, Miz interrupts. Maurice is back as well. Probably just to hype a new season of Ms. and Mrs., to be honest with you. If that's going to be debuting soon. But, you know, they could do a mixed tag. Something they haven't done in quite a while with these two. If Beth Phoenix get involved. But then you just go back to Morrison and Taya not being there anymore. Dropping the ball on them. Dropping the ball on a ton of talent. It's absolutely pathetic, but for some reason we still watch. I don't know why, but we do. But Survivor Series was last week, and of course watched that on a delay a week ago now, last Monday night with Monday Football, Monday Raw. And then of course some technical difficulties, didn't get a chance to watch it in full until later, but then we of course updated the results at the tail end there. But things I did miss, and I took some notes here, so I'm going to go down through and read these off. But these were, for an alright Survivor Series, it wasn't anything special, but these were things I did in fact miss from, because really we only got to see half of the opening match, and then for some reason WWE Network on Peacock, just on my end at least, shit the bed when everything else technology-wise was working perfectly fine. So had to have been something with that, as it just quit working. Had never done something along those lines before. I mean, I've had, seems like every other issue in the book come my way, you know, when it rains it pours, but you know, is what it is, and you know, still got through it, and it was an alright show. But we'll get to things I missed from Survivor Series momentarily, and then of course we had Black Friday SmackDown, and now on the road to WWE with day one, following last week's shows, and now tonight. So Miz cutting a damn good promo on Edge, as Edge really doesn't know what to say. Crowd's hot as well, but a third down for Washington, and Heineke on another completion out past midfield, and a first down for the Skins. The Washington football team, 1st and 10. From the 42, out of the gun, Gibson on the give, and about a yard or so up the middle for him. 2nd down and 9 officially. Here as we progress throughout this first half, about 5 minutes or so before halftime. Coming out at halftime as always, first half stats and scores. Take a look around the rest. What happened in the NFL this week. Preview next week. Discuss some more college football, the NFL, and pro wrestling as well, so stay tuned. 2nd and 9 from the 41. Empty set, 5 wide. Down the middle, it's deflected, and it's going to be picked off by Jamal Adams. And Heineke with a turnover, the first turnover by either team tonight. And they'll have a 1st and 10 from around the 15, it looks like. Few minutes, a couple timeouts, 2-minute warning, try to drive and score and extend their lead before half. Plus, they'll also get the ball to begin the second half. I mean, it wasn't a bad pass intended for Logan Thomas, but it was just a big hit right there. Might have been a little high, but a big hit. And then Seattle right there to pick it off. And they'll get it back 1st and 10 on offense when we return. Very good promo back and forth now with Miz and Edge, it looks like. As Edge on the mic talking to Mike, and Miz really doesn't know what to say now. So just wait until they get in the ring and put on a damn good match. And they'll probably have that at the day one pay-per-view, if I'd have to guess. Hell, Miz might be a candidate. Hell, even Edge for a Royal Rumble, even though he won it last year. I mean, I could look up probably, and I will now that I think about it, who I think right now who's going to win the Royal Rumble. And this is after everybody that they've released has been released. I mean, Styles wouldn't be a bad decision. AJ Styles win the Royal Rumble, give him the WWE Championship in the main event of Mania, and win it. Yeah, hell yeah, give me Styles to win the Rumble. And I'm not even down the list yet. He would make perfect sense. He would. Because really, who the hell else? Damian Priest? Owens to keep him because his contract's going to be coming up. You know, if they're going to re-sign him, or if he's going to want to re-sign with them, you know, Owens, AJ Styles and Kevin Owens for the Royal Rumble right now, for sure. But knowing them, they'll probably have somebody stupid win it. I mean, Rollins wouldn't be a bad decision, but he's already in the title picture. You know, they need somebody, as they try to, it seems like, to fast track their way to superstardom. And Riddle would be that candidate, but I don't think he's going to be winning the Rumble just yet. I said Money in the Bank because, of course, he's going to be in a feud with Orton, and he'll beat RKO at Mania. And McIntyre just won it, and they won't have Cesaro win it, unfortunately. Jeff Hardy's too old. Woods just won King of the Ring, and then Reigns is King of the WWE now anyway. Big pass complete from Russell Wilson to 16. Tyler Lockett again. Deep downfield. It will get open, and Russell finds him into skin territory for a big first down inside the 40. You know, it could be somebody they're going to have return. I mean, Ricochet, it seems to me they're pushing him. You know, Ricochet could be a possibility for the Royal Rumble right now. But, you know, they've dropped the ball with, I don't know how many people as of late. But after a big play, Seahawks 1st and 10, they turn it over. Skins recover 1st and 10 at the 26. However, we have a penalty on the play. Alex Collins tosses it up. Coughs it up, excuse me. Big hit. It jars the ball loose. Ball's punched, tossed forward. And after scrum, Washington recovers, rolling on the field, fumble, Washington football. And then the penalty was on Seattle anyway. So that'll be probably tacked on to the end of the run. 1st and 10 Washington. So back-to-back turnovers now on these last two drives. An interception by Taylor Heineke and then a fumble by Alex Collins. And AJ, for some reason, acting as if he's blind because of the attack last week with the fire extinguisher. So he's got a pair of sunglasses on, running into shit. So at least he still has almost by his side, but they need to split them up. And at the same time, Styles will probably in the end put him over, so Styles won't win the Rumble. Watch, they'll probably fucking almost win the Royal Rumble. Jesus Christ. No, they need to have, because they're having it in St. Louis at the Dome, former home of the St. Louis Rams. Coming up next, though, on Raw, Jesus Christ, are you fucking kidding me? Talk about people who should have been released. I hate to see anybody lose their job, but come on now. It'll be the Street Profits and Alpha Academy. Chad Gable and Otis, and the latter of those four should have been canned, but no. They're still there for some reason. They'll probably be the next ones to go. Screen near side, out to midfield. 9 on the pickup, 2nd and 1 to Gibson. Got a SmackDown commercial. Brock Lesnar going to return. I mean, Lesnar could be a possibility. I mean, Rock could be a possibility to win the Rumble too if they're going to move forward with Reigns and Rock. But at this rate, you might as well have Reigns going a 2.5 year title run. Mania in Dallas, Texas this coming April, and then out in LA the year after. And if they want Reigns Rock for that Mania, for WrestleMania 39 in a year and a half, okay, it makes sense a year from now, not now though. Same time, Reigns still ain't going to be losing the title anytime soon. Anyway, regardless of who he's facing, so 3rd and 1 from midfield, they get the first down, it looks like. So turnover is playing key here, 2.5 to play. Washington have 3 timeouts. They might let this run down the 2-minute warning unless they blow it dead for a measurement, bring chain gang out. That's first down. So 1st and 10, right out past midfield, 2:12 and counting. See if they snap here before the 2-minute warning. They're going to hurry up, but an emotion man, and Seattle almost jumps again. But they'll take it to the 2-minute break. Will not snap the football. With 2 minutes to play in the first half, the Washington football team, for one of those Redskins, whatever their new nickname will be next year, they'll have 1st and 10 out past midfield, down 4, 7-3, trailing at home against the Seattle Seahawks, following back-to-back turnovers by both teams in the last 2 drives. But they're going to try to continue this drive, score some more points before halftime, and then Seattle will receive to begin the second half. So we'll get there when we get there. But once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe as always on social media. Links in the description below. And then we'll have a tag team match on Raw coming up when we return in an add-in segment. So everything they've advertised, they've done a few of them already, saving a few for late here. But then they've added in basically, as always, backstage shit. And then looks now like 2 tag team matches, a 10-woman and a 2-on-2 men's tag team match coming up next. But yeah, back to the Survivor Series with things I missed. And we'll start from the start. They had Rock highlights, speaking of Dwayne Johnson, throughout the whole show because it was Rock's 25th anniversary. And of course, Golden Egg, the Vince McMahon $100 million egg, that was on during Survivor Series and also Raw last week. That's when it went missing. They had to figure out who stole it. They did. It ended up being Austin Theory, and it seems like because Austin Theory ended up getting a championship match then, but he lost. Yeah, so somebody stole Vince's egg later on in the show. But Reigns came in, and he saw on WWE TV, which you very rarely see Vince anymore. But then Vince and Reigns, probably saw himself, not Shane O'Mac, but, Reigns had a smart comment, something along the lines of, because it was Vince's $100 million egg, and Vince was telling the story of, it's his cousins, and, it's from the movie Red Notice, etc., etc. And then Reigns, something along the lines of, well, hopefully that $100 million is what the next contract's going to be, or something, which was funny. And then they cut. And these are just some key notes throughout the show from stuff I'd missed, But Byron Saxton was bitching all night long on commentary with Corey Graves because he didn't get the Pizza Hut pizza that they had with the promotion. So Byron ended up having to settle for the sauce that was on Corey Graves' sleeve. And now Styles coming out. Looks like he'll be on commentary. We'll have a tag team match with the Street Profits along with Gable and Otis as, Styles is acting as if he's blind. He has sunglasses on, and of course that's from last week with the fire extinguisher, but yeah, this is pretty funny. He doesn't know where the hell he's at. He's tripping and falling all over the place, and almost is trying to keep him upright. But back to it. 2nd and 5, and Heineke's going to get out on the sack. Be 3rd and long. See if anybody calls timeout here. Seattle with 2. They'll have 1 if they do call one. Try to get the ball back. They call back-to-back after some stops. have about a minute or so and no timeouts to try to drive and score, do something before halftime, then also get the ball back to begin the second half. Or if Washington will call a timeout here to keep this drive alive, 3rd and 9 to just try to get in field goal range at this rate. I mean, they're going to have to probably convert though on 1st down, to be honest with you. Because if not, it's going to be a long field goal. And then they'll probably have to punt. So Washington called a timeout there. Okay. Corey Graves with his porn stash. I'm sure Carmela's been going for a few rides past few weeks, but I'll digress. Incomplete, 4th and 9, minute 27. So Seattle's going to luck out. They'll get the ball back, 2 timeouts, about a minute 15 or so to play. Try to drive and score and extend their lead before half, and then also get the ball to begin the second half. So we'll see what happens. But then, as Randy Orton just earlier now tonight as well, broke another WWE record for the most matches on Raw than anyone else in WWE history. So that's to speak for something. Randy Orton also broke the WWE pay-per-view record for most matches in WWE history as well last week. At Survivor Series, the wise man himself, Paul Heyman, found out that Brock Lesnar is no longer suspended. That led into SmackDown this past week with him and Caleb Braxton, which they have chemistry on screen there as well, and that's pretty good. But Lesnar's going to be returning, and like I said, he's going to face Reigns, it looks like, at day 1. And then to close it out, as thought, The Rock did not show up to close out Survivor Series. And now we've got a penalty on that 3rd down. Automatic 1st down for Washington with a defensive hold on the Seahawks. So this Washington drive is going to stay alive. Get an automatic 1st down because of a penalty. They'll have 2 timeouts and a minute 27 to continue to drive and cut this lead, or if not, take the lead now going into halftime because of the yellow flag. Yeah, there's no penalty on that play. What the hell they were saying. Maybe AJ Styles is in 2 places at once, and we just don't know it.
Seattle's been so disciplined. In terms of penalties, lack of turnovers. See, we have a few of each.
Street Profits, Montez Ford with a big splash. Cover on Gable 1-2-3. They defeat the Alpha Academy. And then Styles and Almost hit the road, Jack. They get attacked ringside when they weren't even in the match. They were on commentary. It looks like Styles can now magically see all of a sudden. No sunglasses, but are they going to have Styles turn on Almost now? They're going to break him up finally? They're arguing. Be about damn time if they do. Jesus Christ. And then Styles and Owens for the Rumble. Hell yeah. I think the crowd would pop for both of them for sure. Now we got another penalty. That was on the Skins. They'll replay the down. See, there's a replay of Montez Ford saying, "Get out of here." Kicks him, and Styles and Almost still arguing with each other in front of the announce table. They're going to turn. They might have Almost go heel. Be a big man bad guy. So, back to Vince McMahon and Austin Theory in the office. Yeah, he seems very high on Austin Theory. He wouldn't be doing this on screen with him if not. Another penalty. So a few penalties back to back to back here to close the first half. And after the first down completion anyway, late hit on roughing the passer, and they'll tack it on. Still Washington football. Minute 10 to play. They still have 2 timeouts, and they're knocking on the door. But now, oh Jesus Christ, WWE 24/7 Championship. Something they've been doing now for what, almost 3 years? 3 too many. But, yeah, we'll see what the hell they do there. First and 10 from the 14, I really don't care. And Gibson up the middle, 41, J.D. McKissick on the run for about 4 yards. Be second down from the 10, minute 3 to play. And now Damian Priest with his new entrance, about to defend his United States Championship against Apollo Crews, coming up next on Monday Night Raw.
And this is for new and existing T-Mobile and Sprint customers like me. Back to you. Hello?
We're going to T-Mobile.
Yes. Upgrade the iPhone 13 Pro and AirPods both on us. This week only at T-Mobile.
Ball spotted at the 10-yard line. 63 seconds left.
Get it to Brady Thomas. See if he can outcome somebody. Use that big body to win a one-on-one situation.
Second down and 7 from the 10, a screen complete to McKissick, and he's going to walk into the end zone for a Washington football team touchdown. Touchdown Skins up 2, about to be through the upcoming extra point, 56 seconds. It's still 2 timeouts for the Seahawks to drive and score before getting the ball back. So, a lot of penalties by both, but drive stays alive and Washington's able to score. No more Alex Smith. I still don't know why they thought, okay, Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to be a better option than him, even with the injury. And then Fitzpatrick, extra point's blocked. The extra point is blocked, and the Seahawks are on the return. Stiff arm, out past midfield, and the Seahawks are going to return a blocked extra point for a 2-point to tie it up at 9. What a play. Wasn't expecting that. And now, okay, they have 1 timeout, but they're going to get the ball back. We're tied at 9. It's not 9-7, it's not 10-7. The extra point's blocked, and then the big man rumbling, bumbling, stumbling his way down the sideline. See a replay. He blocks it, he scoops it up, and he runs it back. And no penalties. And we're tied at 9. What a play by Seattle. About a 75-yard, 2-point return for the Seahawks on the blocked extra point. I thought he was going to be brought down like right there about the 10-yard line, but breaks a tackle, keeps going, and into the end zone for 2 to tie it up at 9, get that man some oxygen. So, big play by the Seahawks there to tie it up at 9. And they'll get the ball back on the kickoff here. So, 9-9. What a sequence we've had here the past 2 minutes. Not even. Since the 2-minute warning, minute 4 later. A lot of penalties, drive stays alive, Washington finds a way to score. And then the extra points blocked and returned for 2 to tie it at 9. So 9-9 with Seattle and Washington. Kickoff. Seahawks on the return from the goal line. Out past the 10, 20, 25, 30. Thought he was going to break that and go the distance for a touchdown. As we had a kickoff return for a score yesterday. But it looks like Washington's kicker is now, in fact, injured. As I don't know what type of kickoff that was. Yeah, he got hit on the blocked extra point. Was running. Maybe a pulled hamstring. Yeah, he just slipped and fell. He pulled his hammy for sure. And he's gonna get on the bike and try to work it out. But then that kickoff, he slipped and fell when he kicked it. So. From the 27, 1st and 10. Complete to Everett. Now we're backstage with Kevin Owens. And then Rollins comes and interrupts him. Owens is trying not to laugh because Rollins is yelling and screaming in his face, laughing his ass off. As they've had a lot of history as of late the past year and a half, and it's still ongoing, but that's a good thing because they also have good chemistry. Third down and 2 for Seattle here from the 36. Nine to 9 with Seattle and Washington. Crazy first half to close it out here. Got Damian Priest and Apollo Crews coming up though next for the U.S. title on Raw. 30 seconds and counting. Another handoff. That should do it for the first half. There's no way in hell he got that first down. No. Wilson was pointing for first down, trying to get the officials to move it, but no. Washington might call timeout. 20 seconds, get the ball back on a punt. And I've seen crazier shit happen with one timeout and no time to try to drive and score. And now we're back in fourth. 9 to 9. Here, 20 seconds to play in the first half. And we'll update stats and scores at halftime. Take a look around the rest of the NFL from this week as well. Preview next week, so stay tuned. But once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. There is a lot of action going on for sure, and you're probably wanting a little less talk and a lot more action from me as we watch this game on Monday Night Football. FJB on a jump around, 4th down, and Seattle's going to go for it to close out the first half. 4th and 1 after a Washington timeout. Probably going to try to draw him offside and call timeout. Yeah, they'll punt. Because they're not going to snap it because they don't get it. You're going to give Washington one timeout, good field position, get field goal range to go up 12-9 at half if they don't score a touchdown. So good decision by Pete Carroll to punt now. But smart to try to draw them off. You don't. You call your timeout. You punt. You make them drive with one timeout, and they're probably not going to be able to do it. They'll take a knee anyway. And we'll at halftime at 9-9.
You guys have a really good weekend. We'll be there. Anywhere, Michigan. Gonna talk to my guy Kenny. Gonna talk to my guy Kenny Pickett this week. Yeah, man, it's a big game for the Pitt Panthers. Dixon.
Seattle on to punt. Knuckleball near side, but he does down it inside the 10 at the 8. And Washington going to have a 1st and 10, 16 seconds. And they'll probably just take a knee.
That's a Pete Carroll style of defense. That's a Ken Norton style of defense. That's what they're accustomed to in Seattle. Here in the latter part of the season, they have really turned it up. Yeah, the last 5 games, they're third in the league in scoring defense.
Washington will take a knee. We at halftime, 9-9 Seattle and Washington, the Seahawks and Redskins, the Washington football team, if you will. And Russell Wilson's 8 of 11 for 145 yards passing, a touchdown. Taylor Heineke, 16 of 21, 120 yards passing, a touchdown and an interception. But then Seattle also has a fumble, so the turnovers are 1 apiece. As Collins has 5 carries, 13 yards rushing. No running game for Seattle, but Antonio Gibson has 14 carries, 42 yards rushing. J.D. McKissick, 3 for 14. And then Tyler Lockett leads Seattle in receiving, 3 catches, 96 yards. Gerald Everett, 2 for 14 in the score. Collins, 1 for 13. And Will Disley also has a catch for 9 yards as well. Terry McLaurin, 2 catches, 20 yards. Logan Thomas, 2 for 19. DeAndre Carter, 1 for 16. John Bates, 1 catch, 15 yards. Gibson, 4 for 15. And Adam Humphries, 2 for 14. J.D. McKissick has 3 catches, 12 yards. And the receiving touchdown on the backfield. Kurt Samuel, 1 catch for 9 yards. So, we'll see what gives in this second half. They'll update us with some news here at halftime. The big breaking news being in college football, Brian Kelly's leaving Notre Dame to go to LSU.
Thursday night at New Orleans against the Saints, COVID, along with a group of other Dallas Cowboys, and Brian Kelly is set to become the next head coach of LSU, leaving and opening at Notre Dame Park. LSU, your school.
Well, simply put, Brian Kelly's won everywhere he's been, and I think the one thing he doesn't have is a national champion. By the way, the last coaches at LSU have all won.
Yeah, exactly. That was the other thing I had in my notes for Coaching Carousel preview. But now at this rate, it's just going to be an update because everything's already happened. And we'll talk about that more on Saturday, so keep an eye out. But yeah, Nick Saban won a national championship. Les Miles won a national championship, and Ed Orgeron won a national championship. Brian Kelly's been in that championship and lost to Alabama, but you look at the SEC West now. Nick Saban, Jimbo Fisher, Lane Kiffin. His name's coming up for Oklahoma, maybe even Notre Dame. If I'm Lane, I mean, Josh Heupel will go to OU, but there's some tension there with how that ended. Maybe Lane back to Tennessee, but I highly doubt it. I'd said Lane Kiffin maybe the Raiders after Gruden stepped down on Monday night, almost 2 months ago now. And that very weekend was the last time the Seahawks won with Russell Wilson starting quarterback. They're 1-5 in their last 6. They're tied at halftime here at 9 against Washington on Monday night. But we'll preview the NFL and college football here for next week momentarily. Recap what happened this week as well. But those are, in fact, your first half stats and scores for the first half here at halftime for the Seahawks and Skins. 9-9 on Monday Night Football. United States Championship match continues on Raw. Hashtag US title. And share on social media, Damian Priest and Apollo Crews. Also have some college basketball on with the Big Ten ACC Challenge. We'll discuss more college football in the NFL next week as well. More so not college football coaching carousel. On Saturday during the conference championship games. So be sure to tune in and listen to those live watch long actions. There's a lot of news today, a lot of news across, and what a weekend. Now into this week, and hopefully everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. A lot to unwind, a lot to figure out. From now until next weekend, and then as the season progresses then as well, on top of it. So we'll see what happens. That's why they play the games. But it's a lot going on once again, but eventually it'll, as it always does, calm down. But just a lot going on right now. A lot going on with the sports world, to say the least. As Commander Aziz Sneeze gets thrown out ringside. Damian Priest going to beat Paul Cruz coming up here shortly. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. But Boomer going to give us his fastest 3 minutes with a recap from yesterday. We'll update stats and scores momentarily. So, yeah, Hanukkah. And we sit at 9-9 at halftime on Monday Night Football. Take a fucking joke, people. Believe me. Calm the hell down. Take a fucking joke. So, yeah, we'll see these highlights. That was a good game yesterday. I saw bonus coverage of Tampa Bay and Indy. It was, of course, Pittsburgh and Seattle. That was the next last time the Seahawks were in primetime action on Sunday. They played on Monday night the week after a loss to the Saints about a month or so ago. They haven't won since a week later, whereas Washington hasn't lost since Halloween. No, but yesterday it was Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, with the Eagles and Giants at 1 o'clock for myself with live watch-along reactions over here on the YouTube channel. As Priest does defeat Paul Cruz, now Rollins backstage with Pierce and DeVille. CeCe hit it, and the Patriots beat the Titans 36-13. But yeah, I saw bonus coverage of Tampa's comeback at Indy. The Dolphins beat the Panthers. Patriots over the Titans, as mentioned. Yeah, here's the Bengals 31-point win, and an embarrassing loss for the Black yesterday. They'll host the Ravens on Sunday. I'll have live watch-along reactions then, so be sure to tune in. Steelers' largest defeat in 5 years. They also lost by 31 against the Eagles in 2016, but also a 30-plus year tie for a 30-plus year record, losing by 31 against the Bengals by the same final score as they lost by yesterday, 41-10 as well. So, now here's another add-in for Raw tonight. Raw hasn't been bad, to be honest with you. I mean, on paper coming in, stacked to the core, and they've added in a few tag team matches now, and of course backstage segments. But we'll have the Mysterios taking on the Hurt Business, it looks like. So don't be shocked if Bobby Lashley comes out to interrupt, as MVP also just returned as well. And it seems to me they broke up the Hurt Business earlier this year, they might be getting them back together here before too long, if it keeps up, but we'll see. Yeah, the Jets and Giants both won yesterday. Here's a WrestleMania commercial. The most stupendous two-night WrestleMania in history. Well, you've only had, 3 two-night WrestleManias now in history, as the first one, because of COVID, was too big for just one night. Last year was, what was WrestleMania 37's tagline? I'll think of it eventually. Not really that big of a deal anyway, but now it's for WrestleMania 38. And good thing, I do like, rather than one night Mania anymore being 6, 7, 8 hours, for God's sakes. They split it into 2 nights and split it up. And now it's going to be next April from North Texas, the most stupendous WrestleMania in history. But, they've only had 3 two-night Manias past 3 years, so what's next year's going to be? We'll see. But, okay, halftime going to continue. We'll get back to it here momentarily, but once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And once again, your halftime stats and scores, as we'll reset here. Seahawks and Skins. The Seattle Seahawks and Washington football team, formerly known as Redskins, or whatever it will be next year, They're tied at 9 at the half on Monday Night Football. Russell Wilson is 8 of 11 for 145 yards passing and a touchdown. Taylor Heineke is 16 of 21 for 120 yards passing, a touchdown, and an interception. But remember, the turnovers are on back-to-back drives, and they cancel each other out because the Seahawks also had a fumble. Seahawks have no running game compared to Washington's. Collins, 5 carries, 13 yards, whereas Antonio Gibson has 14 carries, 42 yards rushing. J.D. McKissick, 3 for 14 as well. McKissick also has the receiving touchdown. So it's a field goal by Washington, and then Seattle scored a touchdown. It was a Wilson passing touchdown, Gerald Everett. And then it was 7-3 there for a while. Washington scored. The extra point was blocked and returned for 2. So at 7-3, with the touchdown then, 9-7 pending the upcoming extra point. 2-point blocked field goal return for 2, hence 9-9 at halftime. So 9-9 is where we sit at the half here tonight on Monday Night Football with the Seahawks and Skins. However, Week 12 began on Thanksgiving this past Thursday with 3 games featuring the Bears, Lions, Raiders, Cowboys, Bills, and Saints, with all 3 road teams picking up wins. The Bears defeated the Lions on a game-winning field goal, 16-14. The Raiders also won on the road on a game-winning field goal in overtime, I might add, as well, against the Dallas Cowboys, even with the 28 penalties and 276 yards of penalties by both teams. In the win, Vegas by 3, 36-33 over the Dallas Cowboys. And then the Bills defeated the Saints on the Bayou, 31-6. Yesterday in the National Football League. And thank you for tuning in and listening to my live watch along reactions of Steelers, Bengals, Eagles, Giants, along with bonus coverage of Bucks, Colts, and then later on with the Rams and Packers. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. But Cincinnati defeated Pittsburgh 41-10. Tampa scored a game-winning touchdown with 20 seconds to play. 38-31 winners at the Colts. Miami, 33-10 win against Carolina. The Patriots won 36-13 over the Tennessee Titans. Giants 13-7 over the Eagles. Jets also defeated the Texans 21-14. Both Giants and Jets won. I believe Berman said there, Boomer himself, for the first time in 3 years that they won on the same weekend. Which, yeah, that doesn't happen very often, so I guess that's a big deal for those two franchises because they're not as good as they used to be. Falcons also won by the same score, the Texan game over the Jags, 21-14 as well. Broncos beat the Chargers 28-13. Packers, and the difference in that game, as mentioned yesterday, ended up being the interception return for a touchdown. Packers by 8, 36-28 over the visiting Rams, who have now lost 2 in a row, coming off a bye as well. Lost, remember, a few weeks back on a Monday night against the 49ers. And then they lose yesterday as well. Rodgers and his toe injury will not get surgery. He'll be on Pat McAfee tomorrow, so we'll see what he has to say. But Packers on a bye now next week. 49ers won 34-26 over the Vikings. Dalvin Cook now going to be out for a few games. And then last night on Sunday Football, the Ravens beat the Browns 16-10. As we sit at halftime on Monday Night Football, about to begin the third quarter play, 9-9 with the Seahawks and Skins once again. Coming up next commercial break, we'll preview NFL Week 13 that'll begin on Thursday night. So kickoff return out to the 30. The 1st and 10. But we got a penalty flag. Got a hold on the return. 10 yards from the end of the run. First and 10. All right. Strained his hamstring on the run. Yeah. You could tell his right hammy just blew out on him and he fell down. Sly's going to try to slide his way back in and kick, but okay, Washington's punter is going to kick off, but they're still going to use the kicker to kick. But, yeah, we'll see if Washington decides to go for it a little more on fourth downs than usual. But, yeah, 9-9 here. First and 10, Seattle to begin the second half. So special teams, kicking game going to come into play here in the second half because of an injury now, it looks like. 2nd and 8, Wilson going to hand off. And they'll get about 3 to the 25. Coming up on Raw, we'll have the Team Liv Morgan, Team Becky Lynch, 10-woman tag team matchup. Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Nikki, almost superhero for however many months it's been. Need to go back to Nikki Cross. She's almost a superhero after, once again, how many months it's been. Why isn't she a superhero yet? And then also Dana Brooke as your 24/7 champion, so they'll probably get the 24/7 championship involved in this matchup. And probably have a man pin a woman on Raw for the first time in forever. And then we'll find out who's on Team Becky Lynch when we return from commercial break. But another tag team match. Third fill-in, or the add-in tag team match tonight on Raw. NXT commercial. They'll have War Games this Sunday. Haven't watched NXT, though, in about 3 months, so still have no idea what the hell's going on, but it looks like they're going to have a new school and old school War Games match on Sunday for NXT 2.0. Seattle on the return, Seattle on the punt, Washington on the punt return. They muff it, and they recover at the 27, 1st and 10, Skins. All right. So they'll have a 1st and 10 when we come back. They'll take a break, get back to the action in Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw. Before we preview next week, be sure to subscribe. But earlier today, the NFL made official the week before Christmas, Saturday, December the 18th. They always like to have, a few games that day. Normally it's 3. One at lunchtime, one mid-afternoon, one late, as it is on a Sunday. But they announced, as I'm seeing this now for the first time, I've been wondering the past couple weeks on what games were going to be on that day, because they had, a few set off to the side as to be determined for kick times on whether or not they were going to be that Saturday or still on Sunday. But they make official 2 games the Saturday before Christmas. It'll be the Raiders and Browns and the Patriots and Colts. Thursday night that week, that'll be in 2 weeks from now, week 15, be Chiefs Chargers. So my live watch along reactions that weekend. We'll have Thursday night, we'll have one, maybe if not both, of those Saturday games. And then at least maybe 2 that Sunday as well. At least one, though, Titans Steelers at 1 o'clock. And then we'll get into Christmas. But week 4, of course, in between. The Steelers will play a week from this Thursday at Minnesota after they host Baltimore on Sunday. But then that Sunday, the 12th, I know I'll have watch-along reactions of Bills Bucks. That'll be the game of the week. And then next Monday night, even the week after, I know next week for sure, Patriots Bills. And then the week after that, we'll see about Monday Night Football. But Week 13 will begin on this Thursday, in December now, December the 2nd. It'll be the Cowboys and Saints without Big Mike McCarthy on the COVID-19 reserve list, out because of COVID, will not coach against Sean Payton and the Saints. That's Thursday. We'll get into Sunday's games the next Monday night momentarily. Back to it, though. 1st and 10 after the Seahawks punt. Pass complete to Terry McLaurin. And 17 going to get his way to the 47 for a big Washington first down. 13-13 counting play in this third quarter. 9-9. Low-scoring affair, as thought. Low-scoring defense showdown. See if a few more points can be scored here tonight, but defense still wins you championships. It's a running game. It's playing good defense. It's on your special teams. If you can make some big plays, open up the pass with some play action as well, don't turn the ball over and don't shoot yourselves in the foot any penalties. Don't do anything stupid in general. You're, for the most part, 95% of the time, going to come out on top of the win. And now a second down after a few-yard run and end around to number 10, Curtis Samuel, who, former Buckeye, along with Terry McLaurin, and he comes up from Carolina, and he's been banged up, but he really hasn't lived up to hype yet. He isn't what he was in college or in his first stint in the NFL by any means, but he's still reliable, and they're trying to get him the ball. They're trying to establish a running game still, and eventually you'll break one. It'll work itself out, so you'll be all right. But of course, there's just some players, nobody in particular by any means, but that you just want to see, play a little bit better. ACC Big Ten Pac-12 Alliance Teammates for Mental Health commercial. Okay. During this Big Ten ACC Challenge in college basketball. First time seeing that commercial. But that'll be all week. The college football and basketball, more so than not football, landscape going to be changing. Lincoln Riley's going to be on SportsCenter tonight. I'll have to go listen to his press conference they had earlier. That was fast. From what I heard earlier, they got the deal done within 12, 18 hours. After Oklahoma lost Bedlam Saturday night, I guess there was mutual interest then at that point, and they got the deal done Sunday morning, and then it broke just yesterday afternoon whenever I was live during Steelers-Bengals. So, and then right as I come on tonight, actually I already hit go, start this stream, right before I started talking, you might have been able to hear me whisper, wow. I don't know, they'll have to go back and listen. I got the notification, of course, LSU hires Brian Kelly, and that deals as James Franklin and Mel Tucker got 10-year, almost $100 million deals last week on extensions. I don't know what Lincoln Riley's deal is. I'm sure it's a good amount. Probably a good 10-year, $100 million as well. Brian Kelly's getting 10 years, $100 million from LSU. So a lot of money going around if you're a college football coach right now. 1st and 10. They get the first down run. J.D. McKissick up the middle. 10.5 to play in the third quarter. Washington looking to take another lead here. It's really at this rate, whoever has the ball last is going to score. 3-0, 7-3. Steady there for a bit. And then 9-3, or 9-7, excuse me. But they blocked the extra point and returned for 2, so 9-9. Back on Raw, here comes Team Becky Lynch. It's Becky as your Raw Women's Champion. The Women's Tag Team champs now as well. And Zelina Vega, who won the Queen's Crown tournament along with Carmella. And then there's Piper Niven, Dewdrop. And Tamina. As Eva Marie and Nia Jackson are no longer with the company. Thank God. So they're going to move on with who they have and work it out, but drop the ball with a ton of talent and keep some people that probably shouldn't be there to begin with. And Gibson on the run near side, and 11-yard run, 1st and 10, Washington inside the red zone. So Raw hasn't been bad tonight. It could be a little bit better, but I mean, everything they've advertised has been good. The add-ins, it's like, come on now, what the hell? And that's why they've been add-ins. And they're just doing it to get them on the show. 1st and goal now, Washington from the 10-yard line. And Heineke looking through a pump fakes. Jamal Adams almost brings it down on a sack, and then Heineke's going to throw it almost into the crowd, incomplete.
We talked with Jamal Adams. He wanted to get up around the line of scrimmage more in this game. He wanted to be around the football. He keys to the play action and then gets enough pressure on Heineke to force the throwaway. But it's not a sack, but it is a successful down at the line of scrimmage for Jamal Adams.
Great job by him of avoiding the cut block of Gibson right there on the perimeter to keep his feet and continue to apply pressure. And this is where Seattle's comfortable down here. They've been very successful at keeping people out of the end zone. Washington needs to figure out a way to get a touchdown.
2nd and goal now from the 10, following the incompletion. Heineke going to hand off. J.D. McKissick going to score his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Redskins, the Washington football team, retake the lead. A 10-yard rushing touchdown up the middle, 15-6. They'll kick the extra point. No, go for 2. Why? Kick the fucking extra point and go up 7. Because if you don't convert on 2, you're going to only be up 6 here. And then if they score, kick it, they'll win the game. You kick the extra point here. You don't go for 2. But then if you do get it, you're up 8, and then they'll need a touchdown 2 point to tie it. I'd play it safe. Kick the extra point. They're going to go for 2 for some reason. And maybe 13 times a charm. They have 12 consecutive failed 2-point conversion attempts. Longest drought in NFL history. So what makes you think they're going to convert here? 2-point attempt. They'll hand off to Gibson. Well, he does get in. And, all right, they get the 2-point. They're up 8, 17-9 with 8.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. As J.D. McKissick right now single-handedly defeating the Seattle Seahawks. Has 2 total touchdowns. They make up for the blocked extra point return for 2 to Seattle. So McKissick on a receiving and now rushing touchdown with the field goal. 17-9 Seattle. 17-9 Washington on top of Seattle, with the Seahawks going to get the ball back when we return.
Determination to treat her baby's eczema and grows into a family business that helps thousands.
Next week, Seattle will play the 49ers.
And grows into a new career as an astrophysicist. It starts with an engineer's desire.
They'll host San Fran from the Pacific Northwest, whereas Washington will be at Vegas taking on the Raiders. Also next week, as we sit at 17-9 Washington, after another J.D. McKissick touchdown. Thursday night, as mentioned, will be Dallas and New Orleans. And then next Sunday, in which I'll have live watch-along reactions of Ravens Steelers, so be sure to tune in. Bucks Falcons, Cardinals Bears, Chargers Bengals, Vikings, Lions, Giants, Finns, Eagles, Jets, Colts, Texans, Skins, Raiders, Jags and Rams, Ravens, Steelers, as mentioned, along with the 49ers and Seahawks. Kansas City will host Denver on Sunday night, and then next Monday night, I'll have live watch-along reactions live here on YouTube as well. Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw, with New England Patriots and Buffalo Bills for top the AFC East, but they'll meet the day after Christmas then, as well as at this rate. We got 6 more weeks left in the regular season, 3 rounds into the playoffs, and then Super Bowl 56, February the 13th, 2022, from SoCal, with the Pro Bowl smashed in between early February. So we'll run an extra week, of course, with the expanded regular season, the biggest season ever in NFL history, here in 2021 to 2022.
So much fun around this town, seeing the history of the building, and the memorials for the war memorials, World War II, the Holocaust memorials. Talking about bringing the kids at the right age, something that, having lived out here for a while, it's one of the most beautiful places to visit in terms of the scenery, the history. Doesn't look like so educational. Inspiration out of the 30 and slash red.
Got a ton of whistles. Zebras trying to break it up on the kickoff return. Be 1st and 10, Seattle. Hashtag SEA for Seattle versus WAS for Washington as well, and share on social media. So C versus was. But been a good game to this point, I think. I mean, this is, old school. This is low-scoring affair, defensive showdown. Washington with the advantage, with the lead, of course, right now, and also playing at home. Crowd getting into it. Handoff, and nowhere for Alex Collins to go. 8:14 to play in the third quarter, 2nd and 10.
Individual defense. They want to play team defense. They got a lot of guys with a lot of talent and a lot of expectations. And Jonathan Allen knows we don't need to worry about expectations. We need to worry about the standard. And Jonathan Allen is taking over
from the 30, 2nd and 10. As mentioned earlier, Chase Young was lost for the season. And Washington up front on the D-line. Still with a great defensive line, but losing him does, in fact, hurt. Not making as many plays as they are used to up front, but still next man up mentality. So play with who you have. That's why you have 53 on the roster. DK Metcalf in motion. Wilson hasn't even thrown his way tonight. Slant, intercepted and dropped, incomplete. 4th down and 3, Seattle on to punt. Yeah, Russell hasn't been playing that good tonight. I mean, 10 of 15, $154 and a touchdown. But for the most part, it's been all to either Tyler Lockett or his tight end, Gerald Everett. No one else. And they have no running game compared to Washington's. And J.D. McKissick, along with his 5 carries, 27 yards, and his last rushing touchdown, also has 3 catches, 12 yards in a score. But Antonio Gibson has 16 carries, 56 yards rushing compared to Alex Collins, 6 for 13. Seattle on a punt. Washington got to let it bounce at 25. That's where the Seahawks down to that. So 17-9, 6:54 to play in this third quarter. And Seattle's got themselves in a spot they don't really want to be in right now. They're in a hole. They can't really do a damn thing, to be honest with you. Okay, they're lucky to have 9 points because they blocked an extra point return for 2. Because if not, then they're down 2 scores at 10, 17-7. If, of course, Washington scores like it just did here early third quarter. And still not able to do anything in the third quarter. Game goes on, really what makes you think they're going to be able to do something unless they make a big play or something, get another turnover, or who the hell knows, maybe special teams once again, maybe one of those nights. But Just, yeah. Seattle loses again. Sky's going to be falling. They've already extended Pete Carroll, so he's not going to be going anywhere. Nor do I think if they would have a losing season that they should fire him, because they shouldn't. He's going to be the best option for them at head coach moving forward. But then, of course, Russell Wilson, the quarterback, is he going to be there in the future, after this year? Let alone, okay, maybe go back to Geno Smith because, they're not playing that good. If they lose tonight, they'll be 0-3 in his return from injury. Because their season's been over since early October, to be honest with you. Ever since he went down, they have not been the same. And they still don't have a running game, and it's sad, because this is not Seattle Seahawks football. This is not what we know it to be in the past decade. This is what the Seahawks used to look like, but not the past 10 years, 15 years or so. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, if I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan right now, I'm very frustrated. Still thinking to myself, though, okay, still in this, still just got to make a few plays, get something going on offense, and you're right back in it. Game's not over yet. Still a whole hell of a lot of football to be played, so we'll see what it gives. But 6:54 to play in the third quarter. First 10 Washington getting the ball back after a punt. 17-9 Skins on top of the Seahawks.
When the play's not there, protect the ball, but make a positive play, get a first down. That's what quarterback play in the National Football League is like.
And going to be working on what has to be an exhaustive Seattle defense again. 3 consecutive 3-outs.
Whistles, they're going to blow this play dead, and the 1st and 10 will now be a 1st and 15 with a false start.
First accepted penalty of the game against Washington. How about that?
That's crazy. Yeah, if you're going to play this style where you're going to control the ball and take little chunks and long drives, they now have 3 drives over 9 plays that have been scoring drives. If you're going to do that, you can't have
1st and 15 back at the 20. Yeah, time possession 26-11, an advantage of Washington here midway through the third quarter.
Time of possession 26-41 for Washington. 11.5 minutes for Seattle.
Thank you, Steve Levy. Thank you. I just said that.
Which is exactly what wins in November and December. Offensive line, controlling the line of scrimmage. Controlling the line of scrimmage on defense.
You better be playing your best football right now if you're going to want to make a run at playoffs and get the Super Bowl. And Seattle's still not. And at 3-8, like I said, must win earlier. They lose tonight, their season's done for. There's no way in hell they, get back in it. Because they're still going to have a tough schedule coming up. But, you think about it, okay, top draft pick then, potentially, but I believe that's in the Jets' hands because of the Jamal Adams trade from a few years back. And, there's 3 teams in, I know the Jets, the Dolphins, and I'm drawing a blank on the third. They have 6 of the top 10 picks already next year in the draft. The Lions are going to be number 1, but until then, there's still this regular season of the playoffs to be played out. So we'll get to the draft when we get to the draft. Be sure to check out my NFL drafts and Pro Football Hall of Fame vlog right here on the channel as well. But Seattle going to get a stop. Going to force a Washington punt on 4th and 1. You're going to get the ball back. So now neither team can really do anything. Back to, how it was late first, early second quarter before that crazy final 2 minutes in the first half. Fair catch of the 14-yard line, 1st and 10, Hawks from there. Russell Wilson, they're going to have to get the ball out to his playmakers, make some plays, and get back in this game. But until so, along with finding a running game, Seattle's in this hole. So I'll leave it at that. But 17-9 your score. with Washington on top of the Seahawks here tonight on Monday Night Football. Commercial break on Monday Night Raw as well. I believe this 10-woman tag team match is still ongoing, if I'm not mistaken. But then they'll also still have Big E and Kevin Owens to come tonight in what looks like the main event now. They'll probably add in another filler in between what's going on now and the main event then, unless, of course, they give that some time. But then we'll look for Seth Rollins and Finn Balor to potentially get involved, more so than not Rollins. But Raw's been pretty good tonight, to say the least, compared to the past few weeks or so, and months for that matter. But, anymore it's a hit or miss. But, we'll get back to the action for both Monday Night Football and Monday Night Raw here momentarily. But once again, just thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Verizon, the official 5G network of the NFL. This is 5G. Right? 5 lines from our nation's capital. Keep waiting for the Seattle Seahawks to flip the switch. Get this offense going. It's got to be extra frustrating for DK Metcalf. He was taken in the second round of the 19 draft. And he's watching Terry McLaurin. He was taken in the third round of the 19 draft. The two most productive wide receivers of their draft class.
First and 10 from the 13. Wilson complete to 89 Will Dissly for about 4, maybe 5 yards. Be second down. Okay, they give him 6 officially. Second down and 4. Ball at the 19-yard line. And Wilson, deep ball near side, has a man and DK Metcalf and overthrows an incomplete out of bounds. And, they finally go to Metcalf. As mentioned on our last drive, he hasn't had a target. That was his first one on this. That pass right there. Yeah, get him involved. First off, deep ball, okay, he's not bad, but now you got a 3rd and 4. Down the middle of the field on deep passes, more so than not, get him involved in the screen game. Run some bubbles, short, simple crossers over the middle, and then take your deep shots with them. And then that's going to open up somebody else because they're going to start covering him, and then somebody else is going to be open. That's the thing is, just get the hell open. Quarterback will get you the football. Down the middle, almost picked off again, and then incomplete. Intended for Tyler Lockett. 4th down and 4, and past 3 drives of both teams. Can't even take a minute off the clock, and now 3 straight punts. Seattle's back on to punt.
On the same page, and watch as he escapes here. Tyler Lockett's going to try to escape as well. And right there, Lockett makes a decision that he's going to go up, and Russell Wilson thinks he's coming back to him, and that's why the ball went right into Curl's chest. 4th consecutive 3 and out. The Seattle offense. Their defense on the shoulder of the line.
And from the 26, fair catch, signal for, be 1st and 10, Washington. From there with 4:10 to play in this 3rd quarter. Please don't tell us we're going to our commercial break. They preview next week, next Monday night, from upstate Western New York in Orchard Park. It'll be the Buffalo Bills hosting the New England Patriots. And I'll have live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube.
Last time we were there was 2018. I was also
Supposed to snow next Monday night in Buffalo? All right, hell yeah. Gibson on the run. Takes a big hit and doesn't move an inch. 4, maybe 5-yard run, second down. So second down, they get about another 3.5, maybe 4 yards. Looks like he's going to be short, though. Third and short. 3rd and 1 officially for Washington.
His football career is the most family time he's had on a Thanksgiving in some 30 years. Both of these coaches very happy about being on Monday Night Football.
Hey, you get that extra day, and so I think they practiced on Wednesday instead, and maybe Thursday off.
And 3rd and 1, nowhere to go, and Washington's going to have to punt out too. Jesus Christ. Neither of these teams can move the football a little and take any time off this damn clock. Hey, at least Washington has a lead. At least Washington has a lead by 8, 17-9 here, 2:22 to play in the 3rd quarter and counting. All right, so Team Liv Morgan defeats Team Becky Lynch in the 10-woman tag. Looks like after the contract signing from earlier, they're going to have Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan next week for the Raw Women's Championship on Raw, rather than wait till day 1. But they'll probably still find a way to get it there on January the 1st. Anyway. Backstage for the 3rd time in Vince McMahon's office with Vince and Austin Theory. Maybe Theory for the Royal Rumble. Knowing WWE, I wouldn't like that by any means, but you live with it. It's what it is. I mean, to start off, and they probably will, though I think here before too long, with him going to be on Raw, put a mid-card championship on him, put the United States title on him. But Vince just gave him a look like, what did you just say? Like, what the hell? And now an interview with Big E coming up, it looks like, before his main event match with Kevin Owens coming up next on Raw. 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter on Monday Night Football. 1st and 10, Seattle. Both teams not moving an inch. Collins on the run, no gain on the play. Seattle has all these chances, but they can't do a damn thing. Okay, if Kevin Owens wins against Big E tonight, he's going to be added into the WWE Championship match at day 1 with Big E and Seth Rollins to make it a triple threat. And then you also, I would think, as thought, get Finn Balor into it as well, make it a fatal 4-way. All right. That and Reigns, Lesnar, that'll sell the pay-per-view as a whole. Wilson on a rollout, complete. And only about a yard to number 1. And now a 3rd and 9. Seattle cannot move the damn football more than 5 yards. Neither team can right now, but at least, like I said, Washington has a lead. They've done more early, and now they're going to try to better not break on defense and hold their lead and hold on to a win. And rightfully so, along with an advantage in the run game as well. J.D. McKissick single-handedly beating the Seahawks right now. He doesn't score those 2 touchdowns. Seattle's on top under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter, 9-3. Wilson going to go down the sack back at the 14-yard line. Their problems up front. They have no offensive line to block for Russ. He can't cook. They can't run the ball. That'll do for the 3rd quarter, it looks like. But Seattle's going to be on to punt And, yeah, 3 consecutive 3-and-outs in the third quarter by the Seahawks. They've had numerous chances to move the ball, and they can't. But credit to this Washington defense. And with the lead, they're going to hold on to win this game, it looks like. Still got another quarter to play, but 17-9 your score, and Washington get the ball back here to begin the fourth. That does it for the third quarter. 17-9 Skins on top of the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, 12-19, $161 and a touchdown. That to Gerald Everett to take their first lead at 7-3. And then they tied it at 9, as we sat at halftime with that score. But then they haven't done a damn thing in the second half, and might be a little too late when it comes down to it. He also just was sacked for the first time tonight. Taylor Heineke, 21-28, $173, a touchdown, and interception. The turnovers are still split at 1-1, with nobody doing anything off of them anyway, so those cancel each other out. Heineke was also sacked one time as well. But you look at it, this game, as I said at the start, and the running game and the backfield, whoever has a better running game tonight will win. Advantage Washington, they're on top right now. They're going to try to hold on. Alex Collins has 7 carries for 14 yards rushing. Hell, he's had that stat line since the end of the first quarter. We're at the end of the third quarter now. Whereas Antonio Gibson has 21 carries, 68 yards rushing. And then J.D. McKissick has 5 carries, 27 yards rushing in a score, along with 3 catches, 12 yards, and a receiving touchdown. He is single-handedly defeating the Seahawks right now. This performance by Seattle right now is piss poor. At least in the second half it's been. They haven't done a damn thing. Their biggest drive was a touchdown drive, no doubt about it, but their biggest play to tie it up. Because, hell, even if they don't have that, they're still down 2 scores by 10, 17-7. Not one score, 17-9, needing a touchdown, 2 point to tie it, though. It's the blocked extra point return for 2 to tie it up at 9 before halftime. But they haven't done a damn thing since then. But credit once again to this Washington defense. Better running game on offense. Heineke doesn't really have to do much, playing average. But 21 for 28 for $173 and a touchdown. Does have an interception, but it was, a pass that, okay, a little high. Receiver got hit. Ball was deflected. It was picked off. I mean, it was on him, but it wasn't. Seattle has a fumble, but like I said, they cancel each other out because the team was able to capitalize. So 17-9, and your difference is one of the 2 McKissick touchdowns, but as Seattle punts to begin the fourth quarter, return from the 35, Carter to the 44. It's the running game. The difference is the running game. And I heard about Ron Rivera gonna just continue to gamble his way. Doesn't really have to do much. I mean, I didn't agree with the decision to go for 2 by any means, but they did, and they got it. Because if they don't, well, then that might factor in if Seattle would do something, but they can't, because then, at 15-9, 6-point lead, Seattle scores, extra point wins it for them then in this fourth quarter. But now they're going to need a touchdown and 2 points to tie it. But let alone, they can't move the damn ball to begin with. So Washington right now on this drive very well could put this game out of reach and seal it right now, early fourth quarter, to be honest with you. So we'll see what happens here. But second down after a few yards there, ball at midfield. Yeah, and look at the plays. Washington has double the amount of plays as Seattle does. And it's the time possession. This game is being won on the ground, up front, with the running game and the time possession battle being won by the Skins tonight. Second down, they're going to mark them just short. No, they do, in fact, give them the first down. Okay, 1st and 10 for Washington. Big E interview backstage. He's about to defend his WWE Championship at WWE Day 1 on January the 1st against right now Seth Rollins. But if he loses to Big E tonight, or if Big E does in fact, lose to Kevin Owens tonight on Raw, Owens will be added in to make a triple threat now. He gives them the best chance to win right now. Yeah, no doubt about it. He does. I'm sure eventually, though, there's going to be a better veteran or hell, even rookie quarterback out there that will give Washington. And Ron Rivera's the right guy for the job, no doubt about it. You know, after Joe Gibbs returned for a second stint, you know, they went through a few head coaches for the most part, just Mike Shanahan and Jake Gruden. And now Riverboat Ron on Missouri boat ride up from Charlotte to D.C. Third and 1, they don't get it. Fourth down, and here comes another skin punt. Kevin Owens getting a big pop on Raw. They're going to push him. Hell, who knows? I feel Rollins right now is going to beat Big E at Day 1 for the title. I do. But maybe they give Kevin Owens another title run to keep him. But it's going to be up to him if he's going to decide to stay or not. It's his contract coming up, and who knows, you know, as he said, whether it's another 3 months or 3 years, he's just going to keep fighting. They go for it on 4th and short, and Gibson gets the first down. Big run down the far sideline before getting pushed out of bounds inside the 20, round the 10, it looks like. 1st and goal. Wow. But this is coming back because there's a flag. There's going to be a hold. And then they'll have to punt. Wow. So that comes off the board. Biggest play of the game to seal it, at least for Washington here, early 4th quarter. To eventually probably score on this drive, too. Going to come back for a hold. Handoff. And, yeah, that's a hold. That's a penalty. That opened the gap. That opened the hole for Gibson to get the first down. It's going to come back. No big first down run, and now they're going to have to punt. 4th and 10. Back at the 44, the original line of scrimmage, and Washington on the punt, almost blocked. And a fair catch, single forward on the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 Seahawks from there. They got to do something now, like right now, quick. Fast as they possibly can to get back in this game. Because if they wait any longer and keep it up, there's no way in hell they're going to come back and win this game, or at least try to tie it up, or even cut it close to that matter to, win on Monday night here. So.
Nothing to do with us. Forget the merger. This is far more important. Hey guys, the random sales rep just emailed me the 14th.
But it'll be Seattle Seahawks football when we come back. 1st and 10, down 8 with 12:40 to play.
The gifts you won't forget. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Get a credit towards your first month's payment on select models.
Shop Cyber Monday deals now at Target. Get great deals on select apparel and accessories. Bedding and bath. Toys and more. Today only on Target.com. Some things can't be tried at home.
Where next?
With Capital One, the possibilities are unlimited. Introducing Venture X, our new class of travel card. Earn 10x miles on hotels and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. Find your where next with Venture X. What's in your way?
Are you ready for an AFC East showdown on Monday night? Our joins are looking trades ready to lead right the East. Our Iron Bulls ready to defend it. Are you ready?
Rather remarkable when you look at this. Seattle's still very much in this game. The longest 3-and-out
Seattle
season by any team.
with 5 straight punts going back to the first half. Just absolutely pathetic. They haven't been able to move the ball more than 10 yards. 5 straight 3-and-outs. First and 10, empty set, 5 wide from the 23. Down 8, 12.5 to play. Wilson deep down the middle, no one there, incomplete. Yeah, this is pathetic. Just absolutely pathetic performance by the Seahawks. Cannot move the ball whatsoever. They have no running game. And it starts there. You got to be able to run the football. Because if not, defense knows you're going to be throwing every single play. They're going to stop you. And credit to the Skins, they have a running game and a lead. They're going to run this ball and run this clock out and win. Okay, Wilson does tuck it and run on 2nd and 10. Gets 12 on a quarterback keeper up the middle. So, 1st and 10. That was the first down for the Seahawks since under 5 to play in the first half. Are you kidding me? Just absolutely pathetic. 5 straight 3-and-outs, 5 straight punts. But now 35, 1st and 10. See if they can get back in it. Maybe drive ties the game up for all we know. If not, kick a field goal, stalls. Wilson rolling out. I'm going to step up, deep ball, far side. Has a man. DK Metcalf almost picked off, incomplete. Back on Raw. For the 4th time, Vince McMahon and Austin Theory having a conversation. And Vince McMahon's hashtag WWE Raw, I'm sure you use a hashtag when you share on social media. His big secret, we might find out, he slaps Austin Theory. Vince turns on Austin Theory. He's had enough. Quit taking your fucking selfies and grow the hell up. We'll find out what Vince's secret is with his $100 million egg at some point in time. But Kevin Owens in the ring laughing his ass off that Austin Theory just got bitch slapped by a 75-year-old man. Now, feeling the power, here comes Big E. It'll be Big E and Kevin Owens in the main event of WWE Monday Night Raw tonight. If Owens wins, he's going to be added to the WWE Championship match at WWE Day 1 against Big E and Seth Rollins. Keep in mind as well, Finn Balor's also in the mix, as thought. Triple threat fatal 4-way potentially for the championship, but we'll see what they do. 3rd down for Seattle. 3rd and 10 from 35. So 12 yards is their longest play since under 5 to play in the first half. And Wilson's going to escape a sack, tuck it and run, but he goes down after a 4 yards or so. Ball comes out. He was down for sure. He was down, no doubt about it. Then the ball came out. So no fumble, but a 4th down, and Seattle once again on to punt with 58, the former Nittany Lion, and Shaka Tony making the tackle. This game's over. Seattle can't do a damn thing. And guess what Washington's going to do? They're going to run the football. Here comes Seth Rollins. Rollins going to come out, be on commentary. Wearing another pair of sunglasses, so I don't know if he's blind by any means too, but they're wearing their sunglasses at night, here tonight on Raw, and Rollins will be on commentary, so he'll get involved. Balor might come out too, but we'll see. Bell rings, match underway. Big E and Kevin Owens. Got 10 minutes, 56 seconds to play on Monday Night Football. 17-9, your score, with Washington on top. So, we're back to it here momentarily. But main event underway on Raw. Rollins on commentary with Jimmy Smith, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton. I don't know why Byron hasn't jumped in the tub with a toaster yet by any means, but he hasn't. But, yeah, I'll digress. We'll see how this match goes and how it finishes up. And then, if I'd have to guess, Owens is going to win after interference by Rollins. But it's going to screw Rollins over, and it's going to make matters worse because then his singles match will become a triple threat with Big E, Rollins, and Owens at that point. And then keep in mind, Finn Balor's still in the mix with Rollins as well, as Rollins gives Corey Graves a side-eye. Gives the whole announce team a side-eye, for that matter. For the most part, probably just Byron, because Byron's Byron. But Owens going at it here with Big E off the ropes. Chop block to the back of the left knee. Got two Iowa Hawkeyes and a Montreal Canadian on Raw. With a zebra officiating. And an MMA announcer and two former wrestlers who got injured and can't wrestle anymore on the call. Yeah, as mentioned, if Washington wins, they're going to be in second place at 5-6 behind Dallas and be only 2 games back. So, I know I've said the Eagles are coming for the Cowboys. Washington's going to be coming for Dallas again, it seems like. And everybody's still going to have to play each other here by the end of the year, so it'll work itself out. Out of the pistol, Heineke going to hand off. Into the 20 goes Gibson for about 7. All they're going to do is run this football, work the clock as much as they possibly can, make Seattle call their timeouts. They score on this drive, they're going to win. They'll seal it. Hell, a field goal, let alone a touchdown, will seal it. We had Iowa defeat Virginia earlier in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Big Ten on top of the ACC again in this matchup. Illinois by 5 with 5.5 to play. 67-62 Fighting Illini over the Golden Domers, who are going to be looking for a new head football coach now, following Brian Kelly's departure for LSU, which sort of was a big surprise, to be honest with you. Under 10 to play now. 1st and 10. Washington on Monday night, up 8.
He's just waiting for a scene. He sees it, then he exploits it. Now, you got the kind of positive garbage that you want, but that right there just shows that how he's getting more and more comfortable as a runner, as an instinctive runner, and that's just something he's trying to use that right there. Because if he bounced that right there, now Leno is extended and he possibly get a hold on her sheet. That patience to get inside helped.
McKissick on the run, or Gibson, 24. Came out, but came back in. Now back and forth, working the rotation in and out. 2nd down.
They had to go down and score and win. Scott Turner said we were thinking
2nd and 9 officially. Yeah, time possession in the running game. Just full advantage and full gear for the Washington football team here tonight. Almost double in time possession. And Seattle's rushing attack compared to Washington's is non-existent. Pass complete to the tight end and 82 Logan Thomas. And he's going to get another 1st down. Just keep it simple, short, quick passes. Run the football, open up the deep ball every once in a while, but don't do more than you need to. Washington's going to hold on to win this game. 8:14 to play, 1st and 10, 17-9. Commercial break for the final time on Raw as they fade to black. Thomas in motion and fake the give on the run to McKissick. Heineke going to dump it off on the screen down near side. Complete. And he gets out of bounds after a pickup of 7. He's second and short.
And that's winning football games. That's not winning this play. Before, he loved to push that ball out there, but that play right there is learning how to win in the NFL. It's not always about pushing the ball down the field like Russell Wilson did with Charlie Mickey.
This is what Ron Rivera said he's looking for. What are you looking for when we asked him to be the franchise quarterback? He said consistency.
Yeah, consistency. And Taylor Heineke, 25 of 32 for 200 on the dot and a touchdown interception. And a running game and playing good defense, you're going to win. What Washington's doing with Ron Rivera, you got to respect it. You have to respect the Washington Redskins, the Washington football team. They're playing damn good football right now. And they're going to win a few more games. Don't be surprised they make the playoffs again. It was this very time a year ago as well, on Thanksgiving. Okay, here we are a few days later, but they won at Dallas, and they're playing all right going into that game, but then they heated up after that, and in December, into the new year, made the playoffs, lost in wild card to the eventual Super Bowl champs, but from the 50 now, 1st and 10, motion man and Carter, they're going to run the ball. Hand off to Antonio Gibson, who is nearing 100 rushing yards now tonight. 27 for about 95 yards rushing now. And then McKissick has 5 carries, 27 yards, and a score. Also has a few catches for 12 yards and a touchdown as well. It's their running game, and I said this at the start. Whoever has the better running game tonight is going to come out on top with the win, and credit to the Washington football team. They are single-handedly beating the holy hell out of the Seahawks. They are. Because Seattle cannot run the ball. They cannot move the football more than 12 yards after they scored and, of course, on top of that, blocked the extra point and returned for 2. Since then, it's been all Washington. And Gibson just surpassed 100 rushing yards tonight. 1st and 10. 27 for $109 now. And, yeah, Seattle they look lost. They look as bad, if not worse, than the Steelers from yesterday. And go back to that Sunday night a little over a month ago. They played each other and went to overtime on Sunday night. Pittsburgh won on a game-winning field goal 23-20. Since then, okay, Pittsburgh's won a few more and been in a few more close games. But Seattle hasn't won since Halloween. Washington's going to win 3 in a row tonight. Whereas, on top of that as well, the Seahawks still have not won with Russell Wilson starting at quarterback for them since early October. October the 3rd. Hell, it's going to be December on Wednesday. He's going to be 0-3 in his return from injury. Because that following Thursday, that's when he went down. He missed a few weeks. Of course, a bye week as well. They get him back, but they still have not won with Russell Wilson at quarterback since he's returned to action. Hell, Monday Night Football might get over before Monday Night Raw. 4.5 to play. Washington football draining this clock. They started this drive with almost 11 minutes to play. There's 4 now, 20. Everyone's favorite number to play and counting. 3rd down, they're just running the ball, running the clock out. But back to it on Raw for the final 5-8 minutes or so here tonight. Now under 4 minutes to play. 3rd down for Washington. And they're knocking on the door for field goal range right now too. So worst comes to worst, kick it. You go up 11. That's 2 possessions. Seattle, they can't move the ball, but they're going to need a touchdown, a 2-point, and a field goal just to tie the fucking game up to force overtime. Even with 3 timeouts, well, no time remaining, and the 2-minute warning to come, this game's over. Washington's going to win it. 3rd down and 7, we'll say, from the 25-yard line. A late whistle, probably timeout, just to make sure Washington's set. as they barely get it off before the play clock expired. There is a penalty on the play for delay a game, it looks like. Yeah, so they'll back them up 5 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 12. Replays it out. Washington's good. They are. They're hitting stride right around the same time they did last year. Who cares you're 4-6? Playing the NFCs for God's sakes, and you're coming for the Cowboys again. So Dallas better watch themselves. And don't be shocked if Washington wins the division. And if they don't, well, okay, make the playoffs as a wild card. But then the advantage or disadvantage with Taylor Heineke in the playoffs, how good of a quarterback can he be come playoff time? It, would be the big question, I think, then at that point. But, until then, and McKissick a little slow to get up on a pass over the middle, be 4th down, and he's really hurt. He's not moving. Shit, he is not moving whatsoever. Hopefully he's okay. Okay, he finally moves his legs. He was literally laid out just moving his head. And his helmet, top of his head to the shoulder pad of the defender. And, yeah, that doesn't look good. He's down. He has 2 touchdowns. He doesn't play or he gets hurt earlier on. This game's closer than what it is, even 8-point deficit, but they'll take a break here, 3:33 to play. They'll probably bring the cart out for him. Maybe have to carry him off because I guess teams don't have carts to cart people off if they're hurt anymore by any means. But no, that didn't look good for J.D. McKissick. Like I said, he doesn't play or gets hurt earlier on. I don't want to see anybody get hurt by any means, but he has the 2 touchdowns Washington has with the field goal. And that's the difference with the running game and the time possession battle being won for Washington as well. 17-9. They don't have the 2 touchdowns. They're down by 6 right now. 9-3, looking to drive and score and win this game now. But now with the lead, they're just trying to drive and seal it. And they're in field goal range. It's 4th down. They'll kick it when we come back following this injury as well. So 29. You just hope, of course, the kick doesn't get blocked again from earlier. So special teams will come down to it here. It looks like late with the injury to the kicker from earlier as well. But, you had a missed extra point because it was blocked and returned for 2. So you don't want a blocked field goal return for a touchdown to get back in this game and then say, I don't need a 2-point tie and then a whole new ball game then, 2 minutes to play, timeouts, maybe we go to overtime. But, seeing crazier shit happen, but we'll see. But Raw coming down to the wire, cannonball into the corner from Owens to Big E. Main event of Raw, cover 1-2 and a kick out. Seth Rollins on commentary as they continue to build to WWE Day 1. I'll have live watch along reactions live here on YouTube then, so be sure to tune back in. Now just throwing some haymakers back and forth. Super kick from Owens. Drops Big E, cover. 1, 2, and a kick out. And okay, at least J.D. McKissick's sitting upright, but they still haven't brought a card out for him yet. But a delay with the injury, they're going to clear the field a little bit and bring the card out for him to take him back into the locker room, check him out, and who knows, he might be spending the night in the hospital for all we know, but hopefully he's okay, because that was a big hit. You never want to boo, because you never know if somebody's severely injured or not, whether you think they're faking it. You're not in their shoes, so, yeah. But, yeah, that looked pretty serious. That didn't look good whatsoever. Big hit. Helmet to the pad. And he wasn't moving there at first, and he finally did, thank God. And then he'll be okay. He'll be in the injury report for the next couple weeks, I bet, if he's not out. But we'll see what happens. Pop-up powerbomb from Owens to Big E. And then a kick out. Final few minutes of Raw here. We'll have a few minutes to play with 2-minute warning to come as well on Monday Night Football as well, so stay tuned. They cart J.D. McKissick off. Hopefully he's okay. Okay, Rollins just gets attacked by Owens ringside. This match continues on. Owens might be screwing himself over now. And well, in the meantime, he gets back in the ring and he's gonna not hit a stunner, but he hits a super kick on Big E right to the chest. But then Big E with a big clothesline. And then Carter makes a grab on 4th down. The Redskins, the Washington football team, go for it again on 4th down to seal this. They'll have a 1st and goal. Here comes Rollins back in to break it up. So this match isn't going to end with a clear-cut winner. Yeah, I don't know if that was intended for Logan Thomas or Carter. And it's caught. Still for a 1st down. 1st and goal. Seal it now with a touchdown. Hell, I mean, Seattle got 2 timeouts, clock's rolling, but, I mean, well, you'll have to snap it here once. Score, yeah, seal it. We take some nils here before too long. Handoff, Antonio Gibson, no gain, 2nd and goal. And, okay, Owens does, in fact, win by disqualification. So Owens won. And Owens is now going to be in the triple threat. So Rollins, as thought, screws himself over. It's now a triple threat at day 1 for the WWE Championship with Big E, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens. And really, any of the 3 could win. That's a big matchup, along with Reigns and Lesnar probably for the Universal Championship on SmackDown. So that looks like the end of Raw. That's how it'll end. With Owens picking up a disqualification win because of Seth Rollins' interference. And Owens now in the WWE Championship match at day 1 on January the 1st. Roll by Heineke. Gonna tuck it and run. Slides at the 4. And they'll have a 3rd and goal.
You see this young man grow in terms of his decision making here. Instead of trying to go for the pylon, as you mentioned, Brian, he has to force the ball in. He just slides, doesn't take any unnecessary hits. The throw just before to DeAndre Carter. I mean, he's showing Ron Rivera all the things that Ron wants to do. The question is, as an organization, are they going to allow him to be that guy if he continues to do this? Or are there going to be other outside influences that push them in another...
I'd continue to play with Taylor Heineke. I would. He's looked good tonight. He's looked good for the most part. His whole entire tenure here with Washington. I don't think long term, he's their franchise quarterback, but maybe so. Like I said earlier, there's going to be somebody that'll eventually take the job from him. It's just a matter of when. Yeah, they've had 9 starting quarterbacks since 18, the most in the league. They need to bring back Doug Williams to win them a couple Super Bowls. As they drafted Dwayne Haskins, who's now on the Bird, and I said when they drafted him, he's either going to be the next Doug Williams or the next Jason Campbell, and it turned out to be the latter. And, because hell, this time last year, he was still on the team. Because Washington beat Dallas on Thanksgiving on the road. And then, remember, they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Monday afternoon because of COVID, because the Steelers were supposed to play on Thanksgiving as well. But then their Raven matchup, full circle a year later, Baltimore and Pittsburgh this Sunday. Live watch along actions live here on YouTube. 4th and goal from the 2. Washington going to go for it again. Seattle has no more timeouts. 2:25 to play. 17-9. Touchdown here will seal it. Actually call a timeout. Got a whistle. And they're going to kick it. Play it safe. Kick the field goal. Go up 11. Make it 2 possessions. Because if you don't get it, I mean, okay, they'll have to drive the length of the field with no timeouts. But if they score, go for 2 and get it, you're tied at 17 and going for overtime. So you play it safe here. No, but the Washington-Pittsburgh game then was moved from that Sunday because Pittsburgh played the previous Wednesday to that Monday on Pearl Harbor. And then Washington beat the undefeated Steelers, and the Steelers haven't been the same since. They're 6-10-1 ever since then. They started 11-0, lost 5 of 6 to end the season, and now they're 5-5-1. They're calling the timeout. They're still going to go for it from the 2, 4th and goal. 2:25 to play. Why don't you hand off? No, they'll fake it. Heineke going to roll out, looking to throw. In the end zone, it's caught. Touchdown to Logan Thomas. Right at the goal line, but was he in? They say touchdown. Yeah, that's going to seal. That's your ball game. And Washington's going to win the game. 23-9. 2:16 to play. They're going to go for 2, though. Make it 25-9. Because, of course, if Seattle would score, go for 2, get it, that's 25-17 if you have your 2. And then they'd have to score again and get another 2 to tie it at 25 apiece. So it's going to be, if they get this 2-point attempt, a 16-point lead, and Seahawks are going to need 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point attempts to tie it, which that's seen crazy should happen, but right now impossible for them because they have no running game and they can't move the ball more than 12 yards since the first half. Just absolutely pathetic. But credit to the Washington football team, these Redskins, just, ball bobbled a little bit, but he maintained control and possessed it as he went down. All scoring plays were reviewed, so they're looking at it. It's touchdown on the field, so I'll have to find undisputed evidence to return it. If it's incomplete, okay, it's incomplete. You're still up 17-9. Seahawks, no timeouts. 2:16 to play, needing a touchdown and 2-point to tie it. That's why he probably should have kicked it to begin with to go up 20-9 to for sure seal it. Because then they'd still need a touchdown, a 2-point, and a field goal to tie it. Which that's impossible as well. So those are your scenarios, and that's where we sit at. Rolling on the field is a touchdown. They have to find undisputed evidence to return it. We'll see what they say.
Seattle's season really hanging in the balance. They lose this game, and their playoff hopes are dashed, gone.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, once again, yeah, Seahawks lose this game, their season's done for. They're done. They're not making the playoffs. There's no way in hell. 3-8. You still have to win out going into tonight, and you don't. Illinois beats Notre Dame 82-72, and the Big Ten up 2-0 in the Big Ten ACC Challenge. This will continue this week in college basketball, among other challenges and tournaments. But Christmas right around the corner now. So hopefully everyone had a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And once again, thank you for tuning in and listening. They're taking a long, hard look at this. Yeah, at some point in time it would have, yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, the injuries, they went for a fourth goal, or fourth down a few times tonight, and they've converted. Converted again, that's a catch. Lost control, it's incomplete, so, okay, turnover on downs. And Seattle's going to have it down 8 still, 17-9 with 2:16 to play, but no timeouts. They're going to need a touchdown and 2 points to tie it up to force overtime. So this game might get interesting here. But what defense bends doesn't break? the Washington football team here going to have to make a few stops. But they've, shut out Seattle in the second half. It was 9-9 at halftime. And Seattle hasn't been able to move the ball more than 12 yards in the second half. So, unless they give up a big play, they'll hold on to win here. Seattle's got a 1st and 10 from the 6-yard line, I do believe. From the 4-yard line, okay. 1st and 10 from the 4. They got to go 96 and score and also convert a 2-point to tie it up. Pass complete near side to Gerald Everett. He gets 12 yards, 1st and 10. Also gets out of bounds, clock stops. They have no timeouts. The only timeout they'll get is if they get out of bounds, you decide on your friends, along with 2-minute warning coming up. 17-9, Washington. Screen, dump off, near side to DJ Dallas. About a yard or so on the pass. Yeah, 2nd and 9. Gets out of bounds, though, so 2:10 to play. They get it to the 17. Wilson looking to throw. Pump fakes, dumps it off on another short pass to his running back, and that'll take us to 2-minute warning. They'll have a 3rd down right at the 21-yard line with 2 minutes to play. Down 8 and no timeouts. Needing a touchdown and a 2-point to tie it. 17-9 Washington on top of Seattle here on Monday Night Football. Once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool and Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. That thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL, hashtag Seahawks, hashtag Washington football team, hashtag Redskins, if you will, or whatever the hell the new nickname will be next year. Hashtag MNF, Monday Night Football, C versus was for Seattle, SEA versus WAS for Washington. And chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers, always greatly appreciated. So we'll see what Seattle can do here. 3rd and medium, 3rd and 5, I'd say. 2 minutes to play. This could be your ball game. These next 2 plays, if they can't convert, Washington's defense can hold. And then Washington with a 5-6 record, then with the win. Seattle dropping to 3-8, and the season over with for the most part. They had to win tonight, and right now they're not. It doesn't look like they will by any means, but we'll see. And then, we'll go from there. But just be sure to tune back in for more live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube starting next weekend as well on Culture Ball and the National Football League. All you have to do is hit that red subscribe button. Not that hard to miss. Red subscribe button, little notification bell next to it as well. Easiest way to update is, in fact, on social media. Links, once again, in the description below.
Just yeah. He's just sold out.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like in your neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
He's facing a tough decision, Richard. The tension is mounting.
Trilliard Seltzer. Go for 2.
I'm Scott Van Pelt on Monday Night Post game. Presented by Abbott. Live reaction to the highlights. We'll do it from live there on Beach Europe. And now we get back down the road from where we are here in D.C. See if Russell Wilson can pull a rabbit out of a hat. Guys?
Pull a rabbit out of a hat. They're going to have to pull all their head out of their asses to win this game. 3rd and 5. 2 minutes to play. Seattle football. Might, it probably will be. Trips top of your screen. Took me 2 minutes to play in the game tonight to say that for the first time tonight. 3rd and 5 from the 20. Wilson getting pressure down the middle, incomplete. No penalty flag, and then a late flag comes in from behind for defensive hold or defensive pass interference. And Seattle's going to get a big 1st down out of it. Drive stays alive. It's intended for Tyler Lockett, it looked like, down the middle. Pass interference on the defense, 15 yards, automatic first down. There's a spot foul, first down. Yeah, that's probably a good call. That's probably a good call. So, ball at the 40-yard line now, 1st and 10. Still got a ways to go, though. 60 yards for pay dirt, and then they got to convert on 2. Seattle going to fake it. Wilson looking to throw, avoids a couple sacks, and then he's just pushed down. They don't even tackle him. They just push him down, and another sack. Shaka-Tony with a big tackle. 2nd and a mile. Shaka-Tony, a mid-round pick out of Happy Valley, making a big tackle here tonight on Monday Night Football. 2nd and 19, a dump off. Wilson going to get it to the 44 on a completion to DJ Dallas with 1-2-1 to play and counting, 3rd down. So a 96-yard drive this time around. Yeah, I don't think so. Not today. Pass complete to DK Metcalf for the first time tonight. Wow. First catch for about 15 yards or so, give or take a few. 1st and 10, Seattle. Minute 2 to play with the clock stops because he was out of bounds. Now we got an injured Washington football team player. Landon Collins, a former Elephant from Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide.
Experienced quarterback like Russell Wilson, you cannot give him a read pre-snap.
Drafted by the Giants, signed with Washington. One of the best safeties in the league. He's been in the league 7 years already. Holy hell. Time flies. Hell, I've been podcasting and streaming for almost 6 years now, so yeah, all right. 1st and 10 from the 44. Pass over the middle, incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. 57 seconds to play. They need a touchdown and 2 points to tie this game up. So back to Washington going for 2. It probably was a good decision because they ended up getting it. Because, as mentioned, once again, Seattle scores here. They're going to have to go for 2 and get it to tie it. But if Washington didn't get their 2 from earlier, it'd be 15-9. Touchdown would tie it, an extra point would win it here. Under a minute to play. Complete to Gerald Everett. You know somebody who they haven't gone to as of late? I mean, on this drive they have, but Russell just hasn't connected with them. It's Tyler Lockett. 38 seconds, 3rd and 6. Another dump off, and Dallas is going to get a first down at the 32. Yeah, that was DJ Dallas again. 31, not 41, and Alex Collins. All right. 1st and 10, Seahawks, 25 seconds of counting. They need a touchdown to tie it. What, are we going to have another Fail Mary on Monday night with the Seahawks? Wilson going to step up. Down the middle, in the end zone, caught. Touchdown. Are you kidding me? Wow. They're going to have to go for 2, though, to tie this game up at 17. And what a birthday gift this would be for Russell if he can lead his team to come from behind, win. Basically, nowhere to be found. It's like they fell off the face of the earth in the second half until this last drive. And Freddie Swain, 18 for 6. from 32 yards out. And now here's the biggest play of the game. Seahawks have to go for 2 to tie it up to force overtime. But then Washington's going to have 1 timeout and 15 seconds to get in field goal range or even score a touchdown on their own, maybe on a kickoff return to win it, but then we might go to overtime. 2-point attempt. This is to tie the game at 17. Wilson pump fakes. In the middle, and it's going to be caught, but it's picked off by the Washington football team, and the Skins are going to win it at home on Monday night against the Seattle Seahawks. 17-15, but the game's not over yet because Seattle has to kick off. Onside kick coming. What a game. What a finish. I mean, if they get a 2-point and throw a Hail Mary, okay, maybe even get field goal range with no timeout to kick a game winner. We'll see. But, yeah, Wilson, he waited, I think, a second too late to throw the ball. Had him wide open, and then Washington double covered, and it was picked off on the 2-point attempt. And no points, 17-15. Good finish. But we still have an onside kick to come and then a kneel down if Washington recovers. Defense, and the running game, but credit to Russell. He's going to finish 20-31 right now for 247 and 2 passing touchdowns. You know, if only they were able to do more in the third quarter, I feel they, probably would have won this game tonight. Because they had numerous chances. When the game's on the line, okay, they still drove and scored. Here's your onside kick. Has to go 10 yards. They'll go far side. And it's going to be recovered by the Seahawks. Are you kidding me? The Seahawks recover the onside kick, and they'll have 15 seconds and no timeouts right there at the 10-yard line. Or 10-yard gap from the 35 to 45. The Seahawks recover. It'll be 1st and 10, Seattle. And a field goal, if they get in field goal range, will win them this game. And it just wouldn't be Washington blowing it. Of course, they gave up a big drive. Did they touch it before it went 10 yards? If so, that's illegal touching. It's a penalty. Game's over. Here's a replay. Yeah, Washington did not recover it. It looked like it hit Washington, and then as soon as it goes 10 yards, you can touch it, and it did. And it's going to be Seattle Seahawks football. And all they need is to get in field goal range to win them this game now. No, but it won't be. There's a flag now. That's going to be illegal touching. Illegal formation on the Seahawks. Are you serious? Illegal recovery. Be a 5-yard penalty. And then they'll kick off again, so they'll have to kick another onside kick. Are you kidding me? Penalty going to win Washington now this game after all that. Come on, give them the onside kick and let them try to win it. They say illegal formation, not illegal touching, illegal formation. So Seattle's not going to have to attempt another onside kick. What was the last time a team recovered 2 straight onside kicks on back-to-back kicks because of a penalty? That's what I want to know. Hell, onside kicks are a dime a dozen anymore, let alone, recovering 2 in a row. They do recover, but a penalty costs them. So it'll still have to go 10 yards. They'll back it up to the 30, so to the 40 we go on the onside kick. They'll still have to get in field range if they recover. And field goal would win it. Touchdown for sure seals it as well. But they have no timeouts in 14 seconds. But, wow. After all that, a penalty is going to cost the Seahawks the game.
He's trying to get over here faster, and that's why he's inside by 1 yard. Exactly. Seattle's special teams have been the strong point of their team, really all season, and there he is on the details of that.
So here comes another onside kick. No, but it's if Washington loses, it's not that they blew it. It's Seattle came back and beat them. But now they're going to have to try to recover another onside kick on back-to-back plays because of a penalty. If not, Washington wins it. Here's your other onside kick. They're going to go far side again to the 10-yard line. And almost recovered it again, but they don't. Washington does, and that'll seal it. Here's one final kneel down. And the Washington football team. The Redskins will defeat the Seahawks on Monday Night Football. Your final score, 17-15. What a finish. Good game from start to finish. Yeah, they were right there, just a hand too late to recover it. And wow. What a finish here tonight on Monday Night Football. Just if, as mentioned, Seattle was able to do something in the third quarter up until that last drive. You know, they had 2 touchdown drives and a missed 2-point attempt, but they had a 2-point return on a blocked extra point. So Washington wins and they get to 5-6, 17-15. Your final score, defeating Seattle, who falls to 3-8. And for the most part, their season probably done for at this point in time. As mentioned earlier, you know, must win for both. Washington now in second place in the NFC East behind the Dallas Cowboys, who play at New Orleans on Thursday night. I said at the start, whoever has the better running game will come out on top. It ended up being Washington. What defense doesn't break as well. They held on. They did give a big touchdown drive there late. 2-point, no good. Seahawks recovered an onside kick. Penalty cost them. Kick it again, they don't. Kneel down later. Washington wins it by 2, 17-15. Antonio Gibson finished 29 carries, 111 yards rushing. Hopefully J.D. McKissick is okay. Took a big shot there late, was carted off. Had 7 carries, 30 yards rushing and a touchdown, along with 5 catches, 26 yards out of the backfield. For a score, Gibson also had 7 catches, along with his 29 carries, 111 yards rushing. 7 catches, 35 yards receiving, whereas Seattle rushing, Collins finished 7 carries for 14 yards on the ground, along with a catch for 13 yards out of the backfield. You know, Wilson cooked there late. 2 touchdowns, you know, one to Gerald Everett, the other to Freddie Swain. If only they were able to do more in the second half. They had their chances, and they just couldn't get it done. And Washington held on. The difference, once again, was in the backfield in the rushing game, along with the time possession being won by a mile by the Washington football team here tonight on Monday Night Football. As if I can get this pulled up, I'll let you know what the final time possession ended up with. The turnovers being split. Washington was able to convert. I mean, it turned into a punt contest there for a little bit, but they were able to convert on third and a lot of fourth downs as well. So what a game, what an even better finish. We'll head to Sports Center with SVP. I'm sure he's not tired yet. But, yeah, here we go. Okay. Turnovers were split, but time possession. 41-40 advantage Washington to the 18 minutes and 20 seconds Seattle had the football tonight. Seattle couldn't move the ball more than 12 yards. After they scored their first touchdown, had the blocked field goal return for 2 points as well until they scored their last touchdown drive before getting the onside kick and then not because of the penalty. They could not do a damn thing in the second half until late. Couldn't get the ball downfield, couldn't take any time off the clock either. But credit to Washington, they were able to run the football when they needed to late, and that's eventually ended up what won them the game, in my opinion. Compared to Seattle, it was one, as mentioned at the start. I felt this game was going to be won in the running game. Yeah, Gibson, 29 carries, 111 yards rushing, compared to, hell, when your starting quarterback leads your team in rushing, you got a problem. Russell Wilson, 2 for 16 on Alex Collins, 7 carries for 14 yards rushing. Just pathetic. And Seattle's season done for. They're 3-8. There's no way in hell they make the playoffs. I'd be shocked. But Washington, don't be shocked if they win the division again. If they don't, make the playoffs as the wild card, because they're playing damn good football again this time of year. And you got to be playing your best in November and December into the new year. But yeah, Gibson, as Wilson had 2 carries, 16 yards rushing, also was 20 and 31 for 247 yards passing and 2 touchdowns as well. One of Gerald Everett, and then the other 2, Freddie Swain. Taylor Heineke was 27 35 for 223 yards passing and touchdown interception. But it was one in the backfield. It was one for Washington here tonight on Monday Night Football at home from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, the nation's capital. Just north of D.C., but in the backfield, in the running game, Gibson 29 carries, 111 yards rushing. McKissick 7 for 30 in a score, and then Gibson also had 7 catches, 35 yards, along with McKissick's 5 for 26 and a touchdown. J.D. McKissick single-handedly beat the Seahawks tonight. He doesn't play, Seattle wins. Or if he goes down earlier with an injury, they find a way to win probably. You never want to wish an injury on somebody, but hopefully he's okay as well. But just hypothetically, looking at it that way, that's how it would have went. If everything else, of course, went the way it did. But, yeah, Seattle, they had their chance. They just didn't do enough. And they honestly did deserve to lose, even though they did score there late, got the onside kick, and then the penalty that, okay, well, as Washington was a 1-point favorite, they win by 2, so they cover. So what ref had money on this game is a big question. Because if Seattle would have got the ball back, which they did there with the recovery on the onside kick, all joking aside here, of course, drive and score, kick it, win it, 18-17, or even score a touchdown, they win it, well then okay, but or if Washington still gets a stop, you still have a good finish, even better than what it was, but still a good game. I thought it was going to be a good game tonight on paper coming in. It ended up being into fruition here with how the game played out. So, yeah, Washington's in the playoff hunt. There's still a lot of teams and a lot of games, of course, to be played. They're going to have a better chance to win the division compared to making it as a wild card. And everybody's going to play each other in divisions if they haven't done so already anyway. So they'll take each other out. It'll work itself out. But, yeah, the finish was crazy. The finish to the first half and of the game were very chaotic compared to the other, 55, 56 minutes of play tonight from start to finish. So, yeah, Seattle, they just didn't do enough. They had their chances, but in the end, they still deserve to lose. We'll see what the future holds for them. I'm sure they'll win a couple more games, but they still haven't won since Halloween. Hell, they haven't won a game with Russell Wilson starting at quarterback for them now since early October. It'll be 2 months come next week. So Washington on a 3-game winning streak. They're 5-6. They'll play at the Raiders next week. Seattle hosting the Niners. So sky's falling in the Emerald City, it seems like right now for the Seahawks, and who knows how much worse it's going to get. They say when it rains, it pours, and it rains all the time in Seattle, it seems like anyway. So, well, maybe a hurricane's going to be rolling through here before too long. But, yeah, Washington, I mean, they had a lead, they hung on to it, they found a way to win, and a win's a win, that's all that matters. But the rushing game, that's why Washington won tonight on Monday Night Football, plain and simple. Able to run the ball better than the Seahawks, along with controlling the ball and winning the time possession more than half the game. So we'll see what the future holds for both, but especially Seattle. Not a tough loss for them, I'd say, no doubt about it. 3 in a row, but haven't won in 2 months now with Russell Wilson starting. So, yeah, their season's been done since then, it seems like, because just they're not playing good. Their defense isn't bad. I mean, they gave up, a couple big drives there, and Washington was able to score those 2 J.D. McKissick touchdowns. Exactly. They couldn't run. They couldn't throw until late. I mean, Wilson, finished 20 of 31 for 247 and 2 scores. And Tyler Lockett had 3 catches, 96 yards receiving. Everett, 5 of 31 in the score. Freddie Swain, 1 catch, 32 yards, and the touchdown to cut it to 2 before they didn't convert on the 2-point attempt. And just imagine they would have converted on that. They wanted to kick the onside kick. They wouldn't have been onside, or offside, excuse me. They would have kicked off. We'd probably be in overtime right now, to be honest with you. So, Terry McLaurin had 4 catches, 51 yards. DeAndre Carter, 4 for 42. Gibson, 7 for 35 out of the backfield, as mentioned. Logan Thomas, 3 for 31. Well, was it a catch or not? Who knows? Who really cares at this rate? They won, so is what it is. And then McKissick had 5 catches, 26 yards, and a touchdown as well. And playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? Washington's going to have a 20% chance to make the playoffs now at 5-6. But Seattle, big fat goose egg at 0 for the most part. They're going to be bring up the rear just right in front of the Lions, though, in the NFC. Even though Detroit probably should have a few wins, whether that's 2, 3, 4, 5 right now, I don't know. But they've been in a few close games this year as well. But they're still winless at 10-1. But still a lot of football to be played for everyone in the NFL, of course, from now to the end of the regular season before the playoffs begin. And I'll have more live watch along reactions live here on YouTube, so be sure to tune back in as always. So, tonight on Monday Night Football, the Washington football team, formerly known as Redskins, defeat the Seattle Seahawks by 2 in a crazy first half and final finish to the game tonight. Other than that, it was quiet. Washington kept it simple. Found a way to win late when the game was on the line. Credit to their rushing game, their rushing attack in the backfield with Gibson, who had over 100 yards rushing, and J.D. McKissick in his 2 touchdowns. He single-handedly won Washington the game tonight, I thought. So, Seattle's got a problem. They have no running game. Russ has to do it all by himself. Defense, I mean, it's good, but it's not as good as it used to be. We need to figure out how to get a few more stops and not wait until, the game's almost over to, come back and win it. Or try to contend and win it, They just waited too long tonight. They weren't able to do a damn thing in the second half until that last drive. Absolutely pathetic for the Seattle Seahawks. So we'll see what happens. But as always, just want to say thank you for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports. Go in, Luke 96. So be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. And then hopefully you'll tune back in next weekend as well for more live watch along actions live here on the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. The little notification bell next to it as well. But college football and NFL live watch along actions next weekend. Hopefully tune in. And that'll do it tonight for WWE Monday Night Raw. Wrapped up now about a half hour or so ago now. Along with NFL Monday Night Football with the Washington football team. Washington with a 2-point 17-15 win home against the visiting Seattle Seahawks. They've now won 3 in a row. They're 5-6. Seattle drops to 3-8. Haven't won since Halloween. Haven't won with Russell Wilson starting at quarterback for him in 2 months. So, Washington with a 2-point 17-15 win. Game was won in the backfield, running the football. Defense bending but not breaking when the game was on the line, and winning the time possession battle 41-40 to 18-20. And Washington gives Russell Wilson a loss on his birthday. 17-15, your final score. The Washington football team, formerly known as Redskins, defeat the Seattle Seahawks tonight on Monday Night Football by 2. 17.